Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Jez Show at the Olympics. It's bloody early, it has to be said.
It's far too early.
It's ridiculous. I don't know why I even started streaming or any of that kind of thing. If this is the kind of time I'm going to have to get up in the morning, but
That's right.
there you go. At least I'm not alone. At least I am being joined once again. As we started at the Olympics, we will finish at the Olympics with the wonderful Yolfather.
Hello, hello.
Are you as
Thanks for having me
hungover
again.
as I am?
I'm not. I don't think anyone is as hungover as you are
Probably not. No.
in the world.
No, it was.
I'm getting
quite
so
an event.
distracted by it's so hard to do like intro patter when like the screaming is incessant. Just like
Who is it? The Iranian or the Chinese woman?
I think it's a mixture of both. I think they're both really going for it. I'm actually just going to mute it for just a second because I have it turned down to like the lowest set of volume, and it's still a real shriek. It's like Wimbledon turned up to 1,000,000.
I think it's the Iranian. It's red. Yeah, red shoes, Iranian.
Yeah, she's
Crazy
very
woman.
keen.
But yeah, we will join the next bout in progress.
That's right.
Because the karate is massively in progress right now. We've already started there, and we're gonna do a little bit of it. We're probably not going to go all the way through to the end, all the way to the medals, because
No.
that's like 1 o'clock or something like that. And
Yeah, it gets crazy, and at some point I need to go and jump on a train for no real reason.
No reason at all. No. It's not like there's any kind of recent event that we've been celebrating.
I have nothing to celebrate, no one to see, and nothing to do with my Saturday. But I just feel like I'll get on a train for some reason and go somewhere random.
Sounds good. Yeah. And we are joined already by Tamsin. I'm surprised you're up as well, Tamsin. Welcome.
Well done.
She is not up, but she is here.
It's like the they say in the movie With Nail and I that there's a drinking game where you drink whenever Richard E. Grant drinks in that film, and if for a bonus round drink whatever he's drinking, and of course over the course of the movie he drinks like 1,000,000 things. He's one of the most alcoholic characters ever seen in cinema, and I feel like if you had done that last night with you guys, you would have ended up in a similar state to the state that I expect you are currently in.
Oh boy, yeah, and welcome, Hannah. Good morning. How is the bean cocktail hangover? Well, that's a good question, because if people were drinking what we were drinking, then there would have been some exotic choices. Yeah.
Then you would have needed to go and get into your kitchen cupboard and find some staples.
Crack out the beans. Yeah. Have you
That's
been
what I was.
sick yet?
I was about to start making. I was like, there needs to be more bean puns involved in this.
Yeah.
Like, how's it bean?
Bean puns are fine.
But not half-baked.
No, I have not been sick yet. I'm actually surprisingly good for the amount that I drank. I think it was the last cocktail of the night that had a lot of sparkling water in it, and it pretty much just sobered me up, I think.
It offset the dangerous stuff, or maybe it's the mayo. Maybe the mayo has like a kind of like a damping quality.
Yeah.
Or
it could be
you've stumbled on like a secret recipe.
I ate my hangover cure while drinking.
That's true. That's true.
So maybe
there's a reason they say that eating is cheating. It's because if you eat a dodecahedron, there is no amount of alcohol that can topple a dodecahedron.
That grease. Actually, it just in your stomach. It just sits on top in the.
That's right. It bounces off the layers of grease and just goes straight through the system and out without taking hold.
Good morning, Dave Dog. Welcome in.
Hello.
We are going to Olympic karate just as soon as we move on to another contest. Once we move on from the screaming chicken that is the losing Iranian at the moment.
I really hope that
she
gets through, and then she goes to like the gold medal match. And we're like, yeah, and the winner is the screaming chicken.
Ironically, it's not the Chinese woman who's doing all the chicken screaming, because she has actually got CHN written on her back, obviously for chicken.
Right.
So
that's right.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what it stands for.
Chicken. She just really loves chicken.
I'm pretty sure it's chicken.
Yeah.
And the Iranian woman has Iri on her back, which I assume is her name.
I'd think so. Either that, or she finds herself a little bit scary, but doesn't know how to spell Erie.
I'm wondering why it isn't IRA, but then as soon as you say that, you're like,
maybe not.
I guess. Maybe not.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to ask you the same question I asked you last time.
Great.
What do you know about karate?
Okay. Even less than I know about judo.
Is that
which
possible?
Bodes.
He jokes.
Hey,
no,
man.
Even less.
Even less than if it was possible to know less than 0 about something. No, I watched a little bit of this on maybe Thursday morning, and I saw a bit of the kata, which is the kind of the dance version we were talking about. There's the dance version, and there's a smack a bloke version.
Yeah.
And the dance one is done, and one was won by a Japanese karateka, and one was won by a Spanish woman, and that's a lot of shouting, and you just do it by yourself and show off your techniques and stuff. And then now we're into the Kumite, which is the smacking each other one, where you are trying to score points similar to Taekwondo, I think, where you get points for punches and kicks that you land with force and intent and technique on your opponent. And I think, maybe tell you a little bit about the scoring, but probably wrongly.
Well, we can kind of work it out as we go. That's
We'll
pretty much how
out.
this rolls here. Yeah. It did seem that she got a point that did the one that has chicken on her back but is not a chicken.
Yes.
For a strike to the face, and it came up.
That's
with
right.
Yuko.
That's correct. So they're very similar to judo actually, and taekwondo. There is an ippon, wazari, and yuko system where that's 3, 2, and 1 points for varying degrees of smacked. And one of the bouts that I saw the other day, somebody got absolutely caned in the face with a roundhouse kick, and that was 3 points. But also, I think he was probably forced to retire from the disgrace of having some of his teeth dislodged. So that was definitely worth 3 points. So I'm pretty sure a kick to the head would be a 3-pointer.
Cool. And there's 20 seconds left in the current contest, and
yes,
the Iranian is hobbling around a bit and did just manage to pick up a point, a Yuko. I don't know how she did
That's
that.
right. So she's within 2 points now, but they're going to VAR. What I noticed from the very rough stuff that I saw the other day is that each bout is 3 minutes. But because anytime they're just showing the replay here where the fist goes like into her face and like her face just kind of goes
crumples.
Yeah, that is a proper. The real indignity of it is that they then just show the slow motion replay of just kind of.
Did that hit her in the face? Was it in the face,
like,
or was it adjacent to the face? No,
definitely looks like it was in the face.
That was in the face. That was definitely in the face.
Yeah, like one referee's just leaning over the other guy's shoulders. It's like, oh man, she got fucked up. Oh damn.
Here, Mike, look what happens when I turn this dial. Push, push.
Yeah, the karate referee's just the least professional referees of the whole Olympics. Like, oh damn. Oh, she got messed up.
Love that I can hear the distant screaming in the background, relaxing. Hey, well, that's why Tom had to mute his feed while we were trying to preamble.
Unmuted.
Because he's just being screamed in the ear while he was trying to banter.
I was like, I can't focus. Oh, but China has got an extra point there, so it looks like this will be enough. So what I noticed was that in the 3 minutes, because of how they'll be coming together, and then they'll kind of have to figure out what the hell just happened, and so they'll have to stop it. And so there's a lot of stoppages. So even though the judo was 4-minute bout that then goes to golden score and stuff, there are a lot more stoppages in this. So it is technically 3 minutes, but it's really more like a game of Quidditch. It goes on for several days.
Yeah. And we were even broken down into tenth of a second as we came into the last 10 seconds there. That's right. Stopped with 2.2 seconds on the clock. Just in case that punch lands in the final tenth of a second, you've got to make sure that you get that in there.
The buzzer beater. The 20 seconds that we saw was like 3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But they were like, only 20 seconds left.
Yeah, when I saw that, I did think, we'll be ready to get the next contest underway very soon, but
that's right.
Alas, not.
And instead, there's also a lot of there's challenges and stuff like this.
And she gave up there. Did that
was very strange?
Chicken screamer. She was like, "I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna punch you." Actually, no, I'm.
No, all right, screw it.
See you later.
Yeah, so they are done, and Gongli of China has won. I don't know what that means for the group. I barely know where I am.
Yeah, so this is the women's Kumite over 61 kilos that we're looking at right now.
That's right. I believe today is the heavyweights in both men's and women's.
So it's Pool B that we've just seen, and it looks like everyone has had the same number of.
Yeah, that looks to me like they're
that
they've finished the group stage, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's bring up the Olympics page and see if we can get a more ready update. Oh, no, thanks for that. As always, I'm about to click on something and it puts something else underneath my cursor as I click.
Yeah, love it.
As is tradition. Okay, karate. Yeah, I realised the other day that the waza-ari.
Yes.
Is it based on the Japanese word like kimewaza, which is like finishing attack or finisher in wrestling?
That's a good question, and one that I don't know the answer to. It never came up at work. They said, "Tom, will you take a look at this paperwork?" And also, here's the bit at the bottom where it goes, "We need you to apply the finisher to this document." Alas, it never came up, but we should look it up.
Yeah, I just know from wrestling and from the Japanese superhero shows that I watch, where they both have finishing moves in.
So the kime in that is probably most likely the kime from kimeru to decide, right? So the kime is probably to to finish it, to end it.
So waza probably means shot or strike. So it probably directly translates to deciding strike. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So it's technique.
There we go.
So technique, art, skill, or move. Oh, indeed, you can use it for improving one's skill, waza or migaku. So yeah, it's skill, technique. So the Nakime waza would be the deciding technique, the deciding strike. There you go. This is great. I'm even learning.
Beautiful.
I'll use that at work on Tuesday. Like I gave him the Kime waza. Like, oh, Tom, don't use that language here.
We've derped our way into starting at exactly the right time, because we're now moving into the men's plus 75 kilo category. That will take us through quite a while, actually. So I think we'll probably end up watching the men's Pool A and Pool B, and then calling it a day there, I think. But we've got
let's see how we fare. If only because some of us have places to be, and they haven't, I don't think, started like Pool A, right? They haven't had any of.
They haven't had anything. No.
They need to get through an entire group stage.
Yes. So we're
a good array of candidates. It looks like there's people from 10 different nations here. No British interest.
Of course, no.
But
we're only good at punching people outside of pubs on a Friday night. We're not good at doing it competitively here in the UK.
Well, that's right. Well, we won a gold medal in the boxing this morning, which was quite good. But not anything that's like technique, right? Like anything that like involved you have the honor. You have the honor of fighting your opponent and showing off your beautiful technique. All of those ones were terrible at. The one where it's just we are gold medalists.
Yeah, definitely lacking in honor in the majority of our combat sports here, for sure.
For sure.
So we're going to kick things off with Georgia's Gogita Arcania against Japan's Ryotaro Araga. Let's see what else we've got.
We're just being introduced to some of the karateka here from all the different countries. From Kazakhstan. I went past the Kazakhstani embassy the other day and was stunned that they don't use borat in any of their materials. Instead, they are going in a slightly different direction of trying to make their country seem like like a respectable place that doesn't have Sacha Baron Cohen in it.
Yeah, they really lost out to the random finger pointing on a map.
That's right. When Sacha Baron Cohen just flung a globe and it hit Kazakhstan, he was like, "Very nice." And meanwhile, like the Prime Minister of Kazakhstan somewhere just shuddered. And they're like, "Sir, are you okay?" And he's like, "I felt a great disturbance in the force."
In the Kazakh force.
In the Kazakh force.
Now, H-Borts in the chat would like to know about your black belt that you got that one time.
That's right. I have a black belt. I'm happy to say it goes very well with my black trousers. And I bought it from Next.
Perfect. That deals with that one. And Tamsin would like to know, when is the fish slapping karate?
Fish slapping karate? Oh, that's after this. We unfortunately, we're not going to stick around for that one. That's coming up afterwards.
You're going to have to tune in all by yourself to watch the fish slapping.
Which is a shame because we know so much about it.
That's the one that combines the classic kind of Seattle tradition of throwing your fish across the market,
that's right?
And then you've got to be there with a backhand to take it down.
That's right. There's different classes as well. There's a salmon class, pike, sturgeon, and of course plaice. So you've got and then if you win, for example, the bronze medal, then you get third place, and so on and so forth up the table.
I knew that's where you were going, and I
know.
I didn't want to cut you off. I'm like, just let him go through. Just let him follow the process.
Trust the process. Let this man go where he's going. Don't let him flounder.
I don't need to step in here. He's got it. It's fine.
He's got it. He's got all the fish puns.
Yeah, Tamsin's there with you. Third place? Question mark.
Third place.
Right, we are ready to begin. Our referee is Haitham Farouk from Egypt. It looks very interesting that they're all there in their masks, because they seem to have found the most Bane-looking masks possible, so that you can stand there all foreboding while you're watching the.
Do some karate. 1 point to this guy. I love that. You kicked him in the head, Batman.
Tom is just listing fish he knows from fish puns.
It's true. We know.
He saved the best.
I knew where I was going with that. Yeah.
So feeling out
like,
stage.
Oh God, make him stop.
I think I'm gonna have a drink for that one.
He's had it enough, etc.
So we're in a feeling out stage. A lot of footwork to see exactly what kind of things we're going for. Do you think that these guys have like a certain style? Can you scout your opponent in the same way that you can in other combat sports?
I suspect it's a little bit similar to what it was like when we were watching the judo, where we were saying, oh, like these guys probably know each other from the circuit. These guys are, the 10 best karateka from like in the world, essentially, in this weight class. So they probably know each other quite well. They've probably fought each other around the circuit before, and they probably know in which areas their opponent is decent and in which areas he's going to flounder.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, we should keep a tally. That's 3 so far.
See how many I can get in.
Yeah.
Before the end.
Well, okay, so very sudden attempts at a strike from the Georgian. Didn't quite connect. Yeah. Blocked very well.
I noticed it's very fast paced. Ironically, with kind of a lot of stoppages, a lot of very quick coming together, and then they'll stop, figure out what the hell just happened, go to the review, give a point, and then they'll get back into it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's happened. They've given the point to Araga of Japan, and we're getting back into it now. So 1 minute 20 left on the clock.
That I saw when I was watching it the other day was that this little S that came up by his name when you've got a certain score is like a tiebreaker. I think it's almost like a half point in a way, that if you have the same score and someone has this little S by their name, the SSSSSSSS, then it will say that you would win the bout based on that in a tie situation.
That is very useful information. Thank you.
Anytime. Not anytime. This time.
Nope, that's it now. You've said it. I will expect useful information on every encounter.
I'm in big trouble.
Always Be Chatting is lurking about. I assume that means he's rolled over, opened the stream on his phone, put it down.
That's right.
And gone back to sleep again.
He's asleep.
But he got 500 acorn bucks out of it for winning a battle royal. So
nice.
It was worth rolling over.
Speaking of battle royal, this is really the version of this that I really want to see. Is the 5 guys from the group just stick them in and right, boys go to town.
Well, I thought that was how they were going to handle like the wild card place. That was obviously necessary.
Right. So, chuck everybody else in the melee.
You've got to determine who is the last place, who goes through to the semi-finals in this last spot. Mm-hmm. So it's a losers battle royal.
Yeah.
Throw each other over the top. Throw each other off the stage. Does that work?
Yeah, that's right. Onto the like the hard floor below.
Yeah. Now, if it's good enough for
somebody seriously injured,
for Zack Ryder, it's good enough for anybody else.
Poor old Zack Ryder. He deserved so much better. Did he deserve so much better? I don't know that he did.
I think he did, but that's a discussion. That's a discussion for another day.
That's a different podcast,
which you can tune into Tuesdays, the main roster, if you like your wrestling.
Very smoothly done.
Yes, but I did promise at some point that we would commentate a contest as JR and the King.
Yes.
And I think the best candidate for that is Brian of the USA.
Oh, nice.
Against Dan. I think it's Dan. It's cut off his name. Dan Gazinski of Canada.
Oh, that would be perfect. That's the way to go.
Yeah. So that's.
It'll be like an American against a Canadian. It'll just be like having Cena versus Edge.
Perfect. And if you're going to be Jerry the King Lawler, you can just hate on the Hart family all the time. That's basically how anything Canadian worked. So the Japanese.
Do they even have that in Canada?
The Japanese entrant taking it away so far with a score of 3-1. Also holds an advantage. Coming down to 10 seconds left.
Oh, it's getting a bit scrappy.
Trying to hear what the referee what his terminology is.
Oh yeah, I should really probably unmute now that the screaming is over.
These guys are not chickening it up in the same way that the last group did.
Feathers are flying all over the place.
Maybe the chickening comes later.
Are you giving me free reign to unleash chicken puns now as well?
I don't think I really need to give you permission to unleash puns, do I? I'm not. Can I even stop you? I don't think I can.
No.
So,
I feel like I do whatever I want. I am the proverbial fox loose in a henhouse.
all I can do is merely guide you in the kind of
you
pun
cannot,
direction I would
stop
like.
me. You cannot stop me. You can only hope to contain me.
So we might see a bit of a close run thing here.
Right at the end, and they're going to VAR because with 3.9 seconds remaining, they've just given the Georgian a Yuko.
Oh, I don't think he hit him. I think it went down the side of his
Kind
face.
of caught him on the shoulder.
Yeah.
He's from Georgia, same as Marg, who I completely forgot to stick it in the Discord because I saw it while I was at work. But he got in trouble for going out in Tokyo with his mate, his Georgian mate from the Georgian team. The two of them went out in Tokyo to get drunk, and both got in loads of trouble and kicked out.
Nice.
So well played.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the St. George's Cross influence on the flag, right, isn't it? Like, we're basically English. Let's act like English people.
That's right. Let's go out on a bender in the middle of Tokyo.
Well, we're supposed to be doing something important.
That's right, because while I am representing my country and winning a silver medal.
Yeah, I've only been working towards this the majority of my life. Why would I want to do something? Why wouldn't I
put
sensible,
it at risk?
Yeah,
by getting smashed.
So it was a big ask to try and score another Yuko in 3.9 seconds, and the Georgian failed to do so. Ryotaro Araga takes the win in our opening contest from Pool A of the over 75 kilo men's Kumite. Next up, I'm going to have to make this bigger because it's cutting off all the names. There we go. We have Jonathan Horn of Germany against Danya Yoldashev of Kazakhstan.
Very nice. You've been pretty good with the names, it has to be said. The Georgian ones, while we were looking at them going, oh God, what's going to happen here? And I think you've navigated them very well, it has to be said.
Yeah, I tend to be all right with languages as long as I can hear a few kind of sentences and know how their basic kind of syntax works. And I know a very basic amount of Japanese, so I'm always going to nail those.
Of course.
And then I was softballed with the very German name, Jonathan Horn.
As soon as he came up and it said Jonathan Horn, I was like, I probably shouldn't praise him too much for getting Jonathan Horn right.
Hey, I'll take any praise wherever I can get it.
It's actually, in a strange twist of fate, it's actually Jonathan Horne.
Oh, yeah.
He's Horne.
Jonathan Horne. It doesn't sound very...
He's like, get German. It right. Once you get into that kind of that German-Swiss section, the people of backgrounds are from a myriad of backgrounds, if you will, which I'm pretty sure I used right. And as a result, there are kind of a mixture of names once you get into that kind of German-Swiss area. Oh, this looks potentially very promising. He's alive.
Yes, Mr. B Chatting is alive. Is he aware of the acorn bucks that he already won just by sitting there? Probably not. And I'm intrigued by the stance and the technique of Horn so far, because as he stands there, kind of being a bit cobra, like he's trying to do a bit of a cobra going on.
That's true. He's got a more side-on stance. He lands a big kick there. That, again, knowing nothing about karate, we didn't see that in the first bout. There was much more facing head on. You could maybe say that means he's setting up for the kicks a little bit more. You also see his opponent moving into that stance to match him, make himself less of a target.
Yeah, it does seem that Horn is the aggressor, and that I've forgotten the Kazakhstani person's name. Danya is definitely on the back foot, trying to kind of counter strikes and get his own counter strike in rather than going for the blow himself.
For sure, and I think this is something that we didn't really see in the judo, where we were watching the late game matches, where we were watching the best in the world versus the best in the world. And in this, we're seeing the group stage. So for all we know, Horn could be the number one in the world, and the Kazakh could be here by, could be the 10th in the world, etc. So we don't really know where these guys land. Whereas when we were watching the gold medal match, it was much more cagey.
Yeah, we knew what we were walking into there, whereas you could get some surprises here for sure.
Especially with the weight class as well. The weight class being plus 71 kilos means you could be anywhere between. That's a massive hit from the Kazakhstan.
That was good.
That was incredible.
Yeah, we in this time that we've been kind of discussing it, they've exchanged points back and forth. It's now 2-2. There were no points prior to that, and it's very quick strikes.
Yeah, absolutely. Out of nowhere, like somebody can land one of these quick shots, and it really only takes a couple of seconds. Unlike with boxing, where it's scored at the end of each round, here you've landed a hit, everybody stop. We'll give a point where points are due, and then we'll carry on after that. So it's very kind of stop-start, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting once they actually get close to each other and really mix it up, because it does seem to me like they are nailing some strikes, but they're not getting points.
Yeah, interesting. When I was watching it the other day, I noticed that there were points the points were only given if a punch was landed with intention and with the correct technique as well, which is not quite the same as in boxing, where if you knock one of his teeth out, it doesn't really matter how you did it. In this, it was very much like you must also adhere to the rules, not the rules, but the core tenements, the core. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Technique, I guess, of the sport.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. So you got to match the style and spirit of the sport rather than just
spirit. I think is the word. Yeah,
just nailing a hit in the face by any means necessary. Sure. Yeah. Is it a cage match?
Is it a cage match?
I'll always be chatting.
Not quite. I think they're doing that later, aren't they? That's the final.
That comes in the kind of grudge stages. That's not part of the main tournament. That's when somebody is eliminated by some kind of outside interference. They're going to settle that in a cage match.
That's right. What the hell's Brian Ear doing here? And he storms in. He's got like a chair, kicks him from behind. What the hell?
Good morning, Aletha. Welcome. Is Daniel LaRusso winning? I assume that's a Karate Kid reference.
It's got to be a Karate Kid reference.
You
tell him. Hang on a second. I'm scared to ask. Have neither of us watched the Karate Kid?
I've never seen the Karate Kid.
This is really bad. Whoops.
Sorry,
everybody.
It's a very well-held joke that, despite having done a degree that was based in film media and television, that I am the worst film student in the world. Yeah. I've seen almost nothing.
That's amazing. I also studied film at university, and I'm a massive film buff and love film from a number of different places. I'm a real film historian, and I haven't seen the Karate Kid. And so I just love that neither of us have seen the Karate Kid, and we're here commentating on the karate as if we know what we're talking about.
Yeah. You're not qualified for this, says Aletha. Well, this we knew already.
We were never qualified.
This is not news at all. But I appreciate your confidence in us. Thanks very much. So we are 4-4 now after the Kazakh Got himself a Waza-ari, 2
Horn
points.
needs to score because
Oh, that's not
and
the way
he's
to do it.
just been absolutely
Punched
smacked.
royally in the face.
He walked straight into that. I would love a replay.
These are 2 really useful film degrees right there. At least one of them has a BSc. Well, I don't. I've got
It's
a BA.
true. Mine shamelessly is a BSc. I am a scientist.
There you go. I'm definitely not an artist. The title is a lie.
Looks like time is going to run out here, and
There was a strike
so
there,
Horn is going to lose.
but it's 0.1 seconds left.
He he was given a caution, and that took away his little tiebreaker.
Ooh. And we're going to
now
video.
It's going to VAR.
There's 0.1 seconds left on the clock. They've stopped it with enough time to make this decision, and that's it. So if they award a point here...
Despite all that science, neither of you seen the Karate Kid. Yeah, look, there wasn't a module of my degree that was the Karate Kid. It was all like old Italian cinema. It was all like, do you know your Fellini? Do you know your Westerns? Etc. It was not, have you seen the Karate Kid?
And don't even get me started on the nonsense that we got during
Don't
my
get him
degree.
started.
Honestly.
Don't get him started.
Honestly. Yeah.
So this has ended 4-4, and we're now going to find out what the hell happens.
I mean, in this stage, did they just go for a tie? Yeah, it's a tie. How?
Maybe so.
How disappointing. Now that it's not Positivity Month, I can share my true feelings. I fucking hate ties. What a waste of sport. Like all
also,
that.
he has no issue with neckties. So if you're watching this being like, why has he done that to neckties? He has no problem with neckties, nor with the Thai people.
No, absolutely not. And yeah, conversely, I have a drawer full of ties. The people, obviously.
Again, not the sporting concept.
No. There are no 0-0 drawers hoarded away in my drawers.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's just drawers.
All right, next up. We are edging ever closer to our Slobodok contest. But first, it's Croatia's Ivan Kvezic against... what is that? Saudi Arabia's Tarek Hamedi. And I'm going to be very rude and eat my bagel now.
Yeah, please do. Robert Hamara from Norway is the referee for this one. He also looks like Bane. Have a good match, everyone. Fight. The fire rises. That's all.
I have seen, the new Batman trilogy. Does that qualify us in any way to talk about this, being as all of the referees are dressed as Bane?
That's right. We know plenty about that. The fire rises. So we know what the referee looks like. Does that count?
Oh, food is good.
Good old food. Why does your Bane impression sort of sound like your granddad impression? Interesting. I hadn't thought about it. Hello. Hello. It's me, Alex's dad. Good to see you. And then, hello, Bane. I went to church at the weekend. Yeah, no, that's the same.
I mean, people did comment when when Bane returned in the new Batman movies that he did sound a bit like a granddad.
Yes. We always said, at what point do I stop sounding like a man and start sounding like a chicken?
Which is obviously the question that everybody's asking about the karate. At what stage do we break out the chicken noises? in an attempt to throw off our opponents.
That's right. The same. I often wonder that with the tennis, like when with all the screaming that goes on in tennis, where you go, that can't be necessary. You don't need that.
No.
But in this, I feel like a part of the point scoring is that the idea is that certainly when I was seeing the kata, the dance, not dance, but the technique display version, I noticed that the cry, the shout is as much a part of it as the technique as anything else. Presumably because it is a display of your vigor, I guess, so a display of energy that goes hand in hand with the physical technique of the body. Again, knowing nothing about karate.
No, my only knowledge of that comes from Power Rangers, where they would sometimes have like competitive competitions, punching each other, kicking each other in the face, that kind of thing, in the youth centre. And sometimes they would just
Power Rangers.
Just display
that counts.
Their like karate prowess. Yeah. I've watched enough Power Rangers to know what I'm talking about with karate.
Right, there you go.
Yeah,
definitely sounds like we've lived up to our tag as analysts, analysts even.
Analysts.
Yes,
if you will.
I was the first ever analrapist, which Alex will appreciate if he's still here.
So I think the height advantage that the Croatian has here is working to his favour. Wow, that was
literally, as you said that, he did a big old spinning heel kick and sent the other bloke somewhere into the stands.
Because the Saudi Arabian did try to do a similar kick to the side of the head, but he didn't quite have the height for it. Whereas I don't think...
That's right.
I don't think that Ivan of Croatia is having any trouble just standing back, kicking him from a distance and not letting him anywhere, letting his opponent anywhere near
we
him.
were saying this about the weight class as well, with it being that that there's only 3 weight classes in karate, and this one being the heavyweight class being, what is it, over 71 kilos or something?
75.
Which is 75, which is more or less ish, you know. That's not of a particularly heavy weight when you consider that the heavyweights in the judo were plus 100, or like 105 plus or something like that. And so you've probably got a kind of a variation when you've got this Croatian guy here who is clearly almost like a head height taller, and he has just copped a knee to the face. That was horrible. Is he going to be okay? That was a straight shot.
Bane's checking on him, making sure that...
How are you doing?
Can you continue the contest?
When Gotham is ashes, then you have my permission to die.
He is being checked out, getting some smelling salts.
He's going over and checking, and he's saying, "No, doctor. Now is not the time for fear. That comes later." There you go. These are all the Bane references I know. These are all his lines. Then he's like, "The fire rises," as we see a replay of the knee that he took to the face.
Yeah, the Croatian coach doesn't look too impressed with the fact that his guy was dominating and now maybe...
And now is missing
out.
his nose.
Yeah.
Yes.
He seems okay, though.
He does. That's the kind of thing where you're thinking his head is rattled now. If you've taken a shot like that, you're not going to be in the same shape for the next 60 seconds. But you're still winning.
He is, and he just picked up another Yuko. And he's definitely knows when to apply that scream. If you can, sit back and listen to the Croatian. Wow, that was a great takedown. If you can sit back and listen to the Croatian, as soon as his mouth opens slightly, as if like he's about to scream, that is when you need to put yourself in a retreat. I think he betrays himself.
That's right.
With his scream.
If this was anime, he'd have given himself away.
Well, luckily we do have an anime expert in the chat. Should we need to lend
Excellent.
on that expertise? Always Be Chatting is an anime expert. Has a
That's right.
deep-rooted love of anime.
I literally heard him talk about how great it is the other day.
Yeah, I'll be sure to ask his opinion on it during a segment of Don't Get Me Started at some point. I don't know which one.
Yes, if there was a segment that would be appropriate to ask him his opinion, his honest opinion, where possible, about how much he loves anime, but only if that comes up suitably.
Just naturally, yeah. There we go. Yes, sir. I love Sasuke. Yeah.
I believe it's pronounced Sasuke, which, to my delight, triggered several people in the chat. The anger was palpable.
Sasuke, obviously the Japanese version of Ninja Warrior. So we're really bridging that gap now, bringing us back from anime through Ninja Warrior into karate,
and then back to the stuff that we're watching.
Yeah,
that was a great exchange of kicks there. The Saudi Arabian has not had his glove like fully like wrapped around his wrist this entire time, because every 2 seconds he stops.
He is adjusting it, all the time. And it's 3-2.
We're going to VAR. VAR.
The Croatian has the advantage. I'm not sure what we're seeing there. Is that a leg or what is up by the Croatian's head? Was that?
They were checking to see if he'd as they would say, as Bryan Danielson would say, kicked his fucking head in. But he had not. Oh. Interesting. It definitely seems like if you get your opponent on the ground, you're allowed to like fall down upon him and like get some punches in while he's on the ground, and then it's his job to try and keep it's the grounded guy's job to keep his opponent at bay using his legs in that scenario. So it's got a little bit of that mixed martial arts background, which is to say, this is a martial art, and therefore, in mixed martial arts, it's one of them.
It is part of that mix. Is Sasuke stronger than Naruto? Mate, why are you asking us? You're the expert.
That seems like a question for your chat.
I know it seems like the wrong stream to ask. That doesn't usually stop people asking. No, indeed, no.
You know who you should ask about that? Twitter. You should pitch that to Twitter and see if a polite discussion breaks out. Especially
if you suggest that you have been given one opinion over the other.
That's it, yeah. Rather than asking who is stronger, you should suggest, without knowing, that one of them is stronger.
My nephew suggests that Naruto is stronger than Sasuke. Discuss.
A couple of years ago, there was a tweet that went viral of when Obama was not in the US when a hurricane hit US shores.
Yeah.
That was great. And the guy said, "Oh, my 3-year-old just saw a clip of Obama on holiday, and said, 'Why isn't he in the US, Daddy, helping the people?'" And I said, "Oh, I don't know, son. I just don't know." And it really set people off. It was obviously just a joke. Everyone freaked out. And what you should do is say, my 2-year-old son says that Naruto is stronger than Sasuke. And I said, "Yeah, that's right, son. I guess he is." And then just put that down and see what happens.
Well, the time has come. It is the contest between Daniel Gazinski of Canada and Brian of the USA.
I'm so excited for this.
And we promised... I'm going to move my bagel, that's how important this is. We promised that we would commentate at least one of these in the style of good old JR, me, and Jerry the King Lawler, Tom. So here we go. Prepare for casual stereotypes. By God, King, we're ready for a slobber knocker here between Brian and Daniel Gazinski of Canada.
Canada? I don't like this Daniel from Canada, JR. Who knows what they get up to up there?
Canada obviously famous for the Hart family. Strong tradition of karate in the Hart family.
Don't get me started on the dirty Hart family, JR. They'll cheat on you as soon as look at you.
Strong strike attempts here from the Canadian. Obviously learned that in the dungeon with Stu.
Not Stewie Hart. He never shuts up. Why didn't he shut his yap? Talk. That's all he ever does.
Sounds familiar, King. Sounds like somebody around here with me right now.
I heard that, JR.
H-Bots would like to know what Mickey Mouse is doing here.
Mickey Mouse!
Not quite sure what you're referring to there, Hannah.
Frankly, JR, these Canadians, they get away with anything. He'll smack him probably because he's been fighting in the streets like they all do in dirty Canada.
Shades of Santino Marella from the Canadian with the Cobra attempt.
The Cobra.
What a classic catch-as-catch-can contest we have here.
Catch what? You gotta use real words, JR.
Exactly.
Frankly, I was kind of hoping that we'd be watching the women. Puppies!
Would you quit it with the puppies?
I was just kind of hoping I could join them in the ring, JR. I love the puppies.
You're sick. No score here in this ball game. The ball comes later. As the Canadians, the Canadian Daniel Gazinski, I think that's how he says it, is the more aggressive of the two men here.
I don't care how he says his name, JR. He's a damn dirty cheat, just like the rest of the Hart family.
Brian not representing the good old US of A in the way that we'd expect here. Definitely on the back foot.
Where's Brian even from, JR? Is there a particular state he's from?
Probably one of them northern states.
So not Oklahoma.
Not Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner.
We're going to the TV guys, the monkeys in the back.
Brian sounds indecisive, says Always Be Chatting. That is definitely coming across in his style of karate here. We are watching a replay. It seems that Daniel did indeed strike Brian in the chin. But the video review is denied. JR does not know what he's talking about.
These damn refs, they don't have a clue. I'm surprised they're all still standing. Daniel Gazinski, what kind of name is that? We all know he's a member of the Hart Dungeon.
I think it's a Canadian name there, King. They have different names to us down here in the States.
Yeah, well, they don't have running water or electricity either. You don't hear me complaining.
By God. I'd just like to apologize to the good people of Canada, some very fine people in Canada. Please don't listen to the King. Nobody else does.
Some fine people. I hope they get out soon.
That was a classic King line, to be fair. I like that one.
I'm trying my best.
Still no score here in this ball game. 20 seconds left on the clock. A buzzer is unleashed in the arena, suggesting perhaps that these guys get the fuck on with it.
I just want to see somebody hit somebody, JR.
Well, you're not going to get that here, King, as this contest comes to an end and ends in everybody's favourite ending, the tie.
It was terrible, JR. They didn't even do anything.
That was terrible,
Especially
King.
not that dirty Canadian.
Normally I would disagree with you on principle, but you are right. That was terrible.
I would agree with you, but that was shit. Like, JR, you can't swear, man.
Oh, when JR swore on the first episode of AEW Dynamite, it was hilarious. It's like, JR,
that's great.
Just no.
JR,
you're everybody's granddad. Just don't.
They used to say, like, because I remember because he did like a podcast. I remember a couple of years ago or something like that, or equivalent. He gave a lot of interviews after he got taken off the main. After his job got given to Michael Cole, and it was so strange watching him swear in those interviews, being like, "Oh yeah, like you couldn't get away with that shit now," and being like, "JR, no." It's like hearing your granddad swear.
It's a bit like hearing Jericho swear now. I feel like Jericho just swears to get it in. Like, I've got to get in a swear. We don't get our TV 14 rating if there's no swearing.
That's right.
So Jericho,
right.
get out there and say shit
look
before
look how edgy we are now.
Before we're rated PG or some kind of abhorrent thing.
Well, this is the thing: is that of course the internet believes that PG killed WWE, but of course we all know bad storylines killed WWE, right?
Massively,
and so which had nothing to do with the PG rating. So the magic wand of if we do a wrestling company and it's PG-14 or rated R or anything like that it'll automatically be good is obviously that's not true.
No.
There's other stuff. Is Brian stronger than Naruto? That definitely seems like a question for Twitter.
That is definitely a Twitter question. You should do that with a side-by-side kind of photo gallery. Find a picture of Brian which is IRR, if you are wondering, and ask Twitter.
But
that can only end well.
We're definitely sticking with Brian.
Yeah, after Brian. That one. We are already underway in our next contest, analysed properly. As properly as we do. Ugur Aktas of Turkey, and we're seeing Gogita Arcania of Georgia once again. The first repeat competitor in this pool.
He lost before in the last one?
Yes, he was beaten by Ryotaro Araga of Japan.
That's right. Brian, if he wins the gold medal now, I'd be furious. After that limp performance.
The only thing that would make it acceptable is if he celebrates like a 1996 Kurt Angle. Just gets down on his knees, puts his hands in the air, and just cries.
You suck. You suck. Love Kurt Angle.
Not very much crossover from Olympic karate into the pro leagues.
That's true. Not so far. But, ironically, I feel like a bunch of wrestlers who had these kind of martial arts backgrounds often they come into NXT and they've got that kind of that style that is very common on the indies. The very sharp working style, the very the strong style essentially of working where both guys do a roundhouse kick to each other and then fall over next to each other. It's all kind of very crisp. The moves are very crisp. Those guys often, obviously in the last couple of years it's changed a little bit, but you feel like I'm thinking of someone like Aleister Black, how they bring him up and they kind of have absolutely no idea what to do with him, even though the stuff he does in the ring is crazy. They then kind of don't really have any ideas what to do with him, and then he just disappears.
There was an influx of people like that. Main one that comes to mind, and this is a massive tangent, is Arturo Ruas, who was a Brazilian mixed martial artist. And they brought him up to the main roster for a while during the nonsense Raw Underground segments, which was basically kind of street fighting backstage.
Sure.
And then that fizzled away, and they just did not know what to do with him. In the same way that they'd really never know what to do with any actual kind of combat athlete, unless you fit that mold.
Yeah. That's right. And Rousey, obviously being a bit of an exception, you're right, this is a tangent, but it's fine. Where she is such a huge name that they went, okay, we can't really go wrong with Ronda Rousey as long as she's in a ring being Ronda Rousey and just get her to break somebody's arm. But during that period where MMA was, UFC especially, was really starting to take off, and Conor McGregor and this kind of stuff, they were really trying to cash in on that. They had The Undertaker turn up at one of Brock Lesnar's matches and things like this. They really wanted to cash in on that, and I remember they signed a few people to like the NXT brand who had been like mixed martial artists and stuff, and nothing really ever came with them because it's two different disciplines, and there needs to be a very specific person. There's a very that Venn diagram is quite separate, really, in terms of overlapping skills.
Yeah, people try to compare like wrestling and MMA a lot, but there is just no comparison. Even in the kind of flippant, but in MMA they actually hit each other kind of like way, but there's just no comparison really.
That's
the only person that has kind of survived through all of that, and I don't know how, and her days are probably numbered, is Shayna Baszler.
That's right.
She's still knocking
and
about.
Even with her, like, I find her to be. I don't really necessarily enjoy watching her. I feel like I get her character, and it's go, oh, she breaks fingers and things like this, and she's kind of a mean, she's got this specific skill set, but I never found her to be entertaining because she was so rigid to that style, I guess.
No, she's a very good heel in that sense, and is probably better to bring up a babyface that you feel sorry for, who, like, back in NXT, when they used Shayna Baszler to basically make Dakota Kai a massive babyface that was just being relentlessly bullied by Shayna Baszler. That was good. Yeah. But, yeah, no, I know what you mean.
I feel like that, and I feel like she's a great example of how you can do it if you're going to make that kind of heel, but also at the same time, what do you do with the next one, right? Like the next person who comes in with that same skill set, and you go, okay, well, we already have one heel who uses her MMA skills to break arms, so you'll be oh boy, we're out of ideas.
But before we actually get back to the karate, fun fact about the Undertaker appearance at the Brock Lesnar match that you mentioned, that was all Undertaker's idea. WWE had nothing to do with it. That in Undertaker's attempt to find himself a decent final opponent, he was hey, maybe I can trigger Brock Lesnar enough to bring him back to WWE, and so
he had no sign off.
He told, not from WWE, but he told Lesnar that he was going to be there, and that he was going to be there to be the Undertaker. Yeah. And the little face-off that they had after Brock Lesnar, dominated the contest, or was dominated in the contest rather, and was walking through the crowd, and that little kind of stare-off, that was half real, half Brock Lesnar going, yeah, okay, my days are numbered here, and I should probably reconsider this WWE thing.
That starts with him. That was the beginning of him going, I could really use an extra paycheck.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, you can actually see the wheels clicking in his head.
Yeah, I remember him turning up, and he had Michelle McCool with him, which just felt like so surreal. Yeah, like watching them be like a couple. Like, oh yeah, she just married the Undertaker, I guess.
Married the Undertaker, and then decided she didn't need to work anymore. She was made.
Just on account of the fact that I've married the Undertaker, I've married the American Badass, and I'm now filthy rich.
Okay, so while we were chatting, Ugo Aktas quite handily beat Gogita Arcania. We move now to two people we've seen before: Danya
Right.
Yoldashev of Kazakhstan and Ryotaro Araga of Japan.
That's right. Araga won his bout before he looked very handy. The other thing I've noticed actually is the Japan, considering they brought in this event, obviously for the first time at the Olympics, and these sports that they bring in are often kind of sports that the home nation thinks they can put in a good performance at, right?
Yeah.
They brought baseball and softball back in knowing that they stood a chance of winning the gold medal. I think the USA-Japan baseball gold medal match is today.
It is. It's midday, yeah.
It must be around today, yeah, sometime around then, yeah. And obviously they won in the softball. And then sport climbing, they had a few people up on the podium as well. Is that they kind of, part of the reason why they bring in some of these events is they deliberately bring in events that will help boost the medal total. That's not just Japan, but every country that hosts the Olympics. And so far they did win a gold in the kata in the technique section, but if I'm right in thinking, the kumite in the knockouts, they haven't won any medals yet. And so, considering that as the host nation they were allowed to field one competitor in each field, it's surprising that they haven't won in any of the hand-to-hand sections, I guess.
Yeah.
So they could use Araga getting it together and getting on the podium here, really.
Yeah, because this is really I think this is the last day of the karate, isn't it? That's
right. Yeah, these are the last two weight categories, the heavyweight ones, and then they're done.
I've just realised it's the 7th of August, so we're pretty much done with everything after today.
Today is the last
big
day of like loads and loads of medals being dished out. Then there's a couple of things tomorrow. I think there's a couple of boxing gold medal matches, and there's I think maybe the men's football.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's today or tomorrow. So they've got to wrap things up because we've all got to go home. As Araga scores again, you can just see the referee there holding out the blue flag, which means that they believe the Japanese karateka has scored. That's a Yuko, so he's 2-0 up. I was going to ask you what has been your favorite sport that you've watched at the Olympics? Because obviously I know you had not just in your in your streams, but also in general, you probably watched a little bit of it. What you enjoyed watching the most as the Japanese karateka knocks out one of his opponent's teeth.
Yeah, I went into this Olympics in the same way that I do all the others. I'm definitely going to watch some basketball. I'm definitely going to be watching the handball, and I did really enjoy those. I liked seeing baseball there. Yes. I hope that hangs around. But I think it was actually I think it's the weightlifting that I've enjoyed the most.
Really?
Yeah, because
that's interesting.
I've enjoyed all of these ones that I've done on stream with people joining me, but there was something really nice about sitting there with my wife Karis, and kind of being in what was her world for a few years.
Yes.
And watching that, because even afterwards I watched a bit more of the weightlifting and I kind of understood it more. And I think that's the one I enjoyed.
Ah, cool. Yeah, no, I saw a little bit of the weightlifting, the highlights that were being shown on the TV at work, and obviously some of it is just incredible, really incredible to see what some of these people are capable of. For sure.
Yeah, and an honourable mention for the swimming, which I enjoyed because we got to see a new Olympic record being set. And it's always nice to witness some history.
Oh, nice. Which one was that?
That was in the women's freestyle, I think. Can't remember now.
Very cool.
So it does look like Araga has this firmly in hand. 28 seconds left.
Up.
Already 3-0 up. It's about to be awarded another, I think.
He is indeed. Yeah.
So
He really, this has
Yuko.
been very one-sided. He's landed a bunch of like hits right to the face. H-Sports, I enjoyed the archery and the climbing, and obviously the equestrian stuff, which, Hannah, unfortunately, I asked favourite sport, and the question is not a sport. But the archery and the climbing certainly is a sport. I have to say, I really, really enjoyed the archery. What I've seen of the archery, there's something like super tense about it, but it just looks cool. I watched the South Korean teams obliterate everybody. They had one woman who got 3 gold medals in the mixed event, the team event, and the women's individual was very, very impressive. So, yeah, I have to say, what I've seen of the archery, I thought was awesome.
Brave words from someone who has to look me in the eye later.
Yeah, well, in fact, actually, in really not a very long time, in fact. But I stand by what I said. The horses are the athletes, not the people on them.
Oh, that's definitely true. Do horses not get to compete then?
The horses can compete, but with no riders.
Okay, and then you will deem it a sport.
Then I will deem it a sport.
The horses have to do all the work for themselves.
This got very heated right at the end. The guy was 17 and the girl was 20, and they contested in the South Koreans, in the mixed team. That's right.
So I think Ryotaro took the foot off the gas a little bit there, knowing that he was up by 4 points and that the time was expiring.
He was being a little cautious as well because he was on 3 cautions, and if you get 1 more caution, disqualified. So he was kind of not taking any risks, and as a result, he got caught flush with something that I think we're about to watch.
He was quite happy to take those last 2 points, really, wasn't he?
Yeah, for sure. Like, and when you have a 4-point cushion, it's not such a big deal. Oh man, he really caught him flush a couple of times. We're seeing the slow motion replay.
Yeah.
He looks like he means business. Maybe he could be the medal hope for Japan here, because I think they were hoping to pick up a couple of golds in the karate.
So we're seeing for the first time Sajad or Sahad, possibly Ganjade. Ganjade?
Yeah,
maybe?
that sounds about right.
Sounds about right. From Iran, taking on Ivan Kvezik, who we saw earlier. It's the very tall man who goes for the kicks to the head quite a lot. And it does look like the Iranian is fairly tall as well, so this could be a very even contest.
The Croatian was a very lanky boy. Actually, no, looking at it here, he still seems like he's...
I was going to say.
How tall is Kvezik? He looks like a very tall lad.
Yeah, from a distance they look the same height. Then as soon as they approach each other,
as they walk, it's like a mirror. It's like one of those weird mirrors of the circus.
The disparity was very clear at this point.
What's Harman doing there? There's a bloke on a reality show that Hannah and I watch from Japan where he is into kickboxing. And he is not here because that's a different sport. And if he turns up, he'll be asked to leave.
Yeah, once again, Ivan betrayed himself with his shout.
That's right.
I think that the Iranian did know that the strike was coming because he started to scream. He's like, "Oh, screen's coming. Get my block in." I think
if you're the coach of the opposite guy, every time you should be like, all right, watch out for the shout. As soon as he shouts, he's going to kick you. You're like, yeah, thanks, coach. That and his foot is coming at my head.
I do think that Sahad has got a better measure of Ivan than the previous opponent did. Who did Ivan face before? I forget. It was Tariq Hamidi of Saudi Arabia.
Yes. Yes, and Ivan the
Terrible.
Ivan the just fine. Ivan the pretty good.
Looking him square in the eye as he attempts to punch him in the face. You got to appreciate that.
I appreciate his technique, his honor.
That's exactly what Hannah's going to do to you later, as she punches
that's right, she's going to look me straight in the
eye.
That's right. For the pride of the equestrian sport. That's if we can get on a train, given that it's been raining so hard today, and that King's Cross section of London, last time it really rained, it like just flooded King's Cross out completely. Like St. Pancras got completely flooded. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll just swim.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that far. You can walk, right?
Yeah, we can walk.
Yeah. It's all England. You'll manage.
It's technically England. It's not like it's Texas. I had a friend who said that when she was in when she lives in Texas, she can like drive for 5 hours straight, and she hasn't left Texas. I went, all right. Yeah, no. If you drive from 5 hours straight in the UK, you can get you're
going to get very wet. Yeah,
you're going to get extremely wet or extremely French.
Which is preferable? Who knows?
That's right. I started learning French this week, actually. Like properly. I know. Now, in the last 5 days, yeah, I know it now. So, moving on. I'll learn something else.
I recommend Klingon. That's fun.
Cool. Can I use it at any companies?
Yes. The United Federation of Planets. And, and obviously the Klingon Alliance.
You will also be eligible to be William Shatner's assistant.
He loves that. He loves when people rock up and speak Klingon to him.
I imagine that has a similar reaction to if you tried to do a Bane impression to Tom Hardy. Hello,
nice Tom Hardy.
Hello, Tom Hardy.
You're a bit of a hard man, aren't you?
Oh, somebody thinks they're very hard. It's like, mate, get out of my face right now. Oh, fair enough. Sorry to bother you. Just trying to think of, because we were talking about on Alex's stream about Sam Rockwell, weren't we? Son of Rachel had seen Sam Rockwell in a public place, and how do you approach those situations? I can't imagine anything that would go down worse than going up to Tom Hardy and asking for his autograph in a Bane impression. Oh, can I have your autograph? He'd be like, no, fuck off.
Can you imagine some nerd walks up to him and asks him for the autograph, and he's like, "Okay, but you can drop this annoying Bane impression." No, that's just how I talk.
That's my voice.
I was in an accident as a child.
Why?
Sorry, kid. Never meet your heroes. They'll only take the piss out of your Bane for actual Bane.
That's
voice.
Right. Your silly voice. That or the alternate is like, yes. I will give you an autograph, but only if you do it in a Bane voice. Only if you ask me in your best Bane impression. Prove your worth.
Yeah, you could have some fun with that, couldn't he?
I'm just trying to think of other actors where doing their famous character would be seen as taking the mickey.
I mean, with Shatner, you could say. I will give you my autograph, says Bill, as long as you ask me through the medium of song, as if you are singing like me.
Yes, I could. Please, give me your autograph. Your autograph. Give it to me.
You just got yourself an autograph.
He's like, kid, you're hired. I'm like, what? You shall be my new apprentice. Like in the
And
day here, it looks like Iran has taken the lead.
Yes, and taken an advantage as well. So 2-1 so far. 17 seconds remaining. And that could really be it for Ivan Kvezik. He may not be able to come back here.
Yeah, which is strange because I thought he looked really good against the Saudi Arabian. However, what I've noticed is when I looked at some of the group standings in a couple of these things, that the like people are often going through despite losing bouts. Like you can lose a bout and you can still go through on points because of the way the group system works.
Yeah.
Whereas I think that's quite rare actually. Yeah, I thought in other disciplines, not disciplines, but other sports, I guess, that and especially in judo, it's all knockout, right? Taekwondo is the same. There might be a repechage, but it's all knockout. Whereas this is the first one where I've seen where they have a little round robin. They have a little group stage at the beginning, and you see people in multiple bouts, back to back usually, and then they'll settle it from those 5, and then have a knockout stage.
Yeah, and Sahad is playing very defensively now with 0.2 of a second left on the clock. I think he, barring some kind of strange miracle, will walk away with this one. 2 points in 0.2 seconds is a bit of an ask.
Impressive.
Even for a very, very tall Croatian. And he takes it.
Victory for Sahad. I'll be quite interested to see. What we should do is later we should look up who won the gold medal in this event. Like we should like hedge our bets based on what we've seen on who we think will win. Because we know nothing about the rankings, right? So we have no idea who is the number 1 in the world. We should definitely check this later. Yeah, so
we'll close today after we do these pool stages with predictions of who's going to win the gold medal, and then we'll
from what we've seen,
we shall revisit.
Right now, the only thing that I know is that I thought Brian was pretty, and so knowing my luck, he'll win the whole thing.
Well, we're going to get to see him again right now as he takes on the equally Tarek Hamidi of Saudi Arabia. Patina, good morning. Yay Olympics indeed. We're watching the men's karate over 75 kilo category. We're in probably about halfway through. No, we're not. We're nowhere near. We're about a third of the way through the pool stages of this. Pools A and B running simultaneously.
Brian has like a mouthpiece, maybe, that makes him look like he's got like really like yellow teeth. So it's more like Brian. Brush your teeth, bro.
He doesn't look like the most formidable of combat athletes, does he?
Now, I don't mean to use the same jokes from before, but I'm pretty sure I could take him. I'm convinced I could take Brian out. He's 33. He doesn't. You're right. He's a bit lanky. He's a little bit gangly, and I'm pretty sure I could beat him in a fight.
Fair enough. I mean that's a step up from the previous time we did this, when you were basically suggesting you could beat the women.
Yeah. I felt like I could beat pretty much anybody we saw during that judo stream, men or women. But I have since realized that I could beat all of these people as well.
Fair enough.
You've got to back yourself.
It's important to have realizations such as that every now and again.
That's right. I realized that actually that what I had said was not completely accurate because I hadn't clarified that I could beat a lot of other people as well.
Yeah, fair enough. And this contest, equally as dull so far. I'm not sure Brian actually wants to win.
I've not seen Brian throw a punch, a kick. I'm not convinced he knows how.
Does he know what sport it is he's competing in right now?
That's right. He seems to be really good at the Street Fighter style thing where he just does this a lot, and then he has no idea how points are scored in karate.
Do you think this is that he believes this to be the demonstration style of karate? And he's just stood there doing his thing. He's like, dude, right. Why are you trying to punch me? What is this?
He's like, stop, hey, whoa.
Like, is this a new part of the sport? What is this guy doing? He's
I'm trying to focus on my technique. This random Saudi bloke keeps trying to kick my head in. Can you imagine if Brian goes through the group stages at 0-0 with everybody and then wins the gold medal? I'd be furious.
Maybe that's his strategy, you know? You don't want to wear yourself out.
From the Japanese handball team where they were saying, they haven't... this is their first goal in 25 years or something. And you go, wait, what? It usually ends 30-30. Have they not scored at any of previous Olympics? And it just turned out they hadn't been at any of the previous Olympics.
Entered. Yeah.
This is the same thing. Brian, that's his first point that he scored, and they're like, oh, right, because he didn't go to the last few Olympics. No,
because
Brian
he's terrible.
Famously has never scored a point in karate. But he's our gold medalist and he's our world champion, and we'll speak about him with respect.
I think
gone to VAR.
Always Be Chatting is trying to confuse people, jumping for a star that is not there. If I put jump in the chat, people will get really excited, but there's nothing there. Okay, so finally, there is a point for Tarek Hamadi of South Africa. Now either Brian will do something about it, or he will just...
Saudi Arabia, right?
Yes. Is that what I said?
You said South Africa.
Did I?
Which I guess would be RSA?
Yes.
Because that used to confuse me as a kid all the time when I saw in the rugby. Oh my God, everyone stop the presses. Brian has scored a point.
Wow. Is there a link to watch along? Sorry if that's a stupid question. Depending on where you are in the world, you can watch on whatever local provider has the Olympics. Here in the UK, it is Eurosport and Discovery Plus. Unfortunately, the Olympic coverage has not been widespread, shall we say?
Yeah, the BBC has, if you're in the UK, is the BBC coverage. Yeah, you are in the UK. Okay, yeah, the BBC coverage has been okay, but very British centric. So they've got two channels, and they usually just kind of try and show either gold medal matches or stuff involving British people, or both. And when that's not on, they're asking Beth Tweddle about stuff. So as a result, if you kind of want to watch just a sport that, for example, has no British people in it, you probably have to go and find it on another channel, which if you're in the UK, as I said, would be Discovery, Eurosport.
Yes, but you can get a free trial if you haven't used that already, which, being as you're asking the question, I would suggest you haven't. Yeah, you can get a 3-day free trial of Discovery Plus, which will take you through the last couple of days of the Olympics.
Perfect. Right, you can see all the final stuff, like Brian losing 4-1.
Yeah. Now he's decided to be aggressive. It's like, mate, you've left it a bit late.
That's right.
You absolutely deserve that loss.
Brian, has lost.
I'd like to think we were being a bit harsh on Brian, but no, I really do think that he was terrible.
I thought he was bad, and now if I go and look up his Twitter account, he'll be 7-time world champion Brian because he's the he's the US representative for this weight class at karate. The US is not a small country. There are probably a number of very good karateka in this weight class, so I now want to look him up. I'm going to look up Brian. You
can. I think it's safe to say after a dull-ass tie and a sound defeat that he's not making
this
it.
This is not Brian. This is Brian Urlacher.
I think
God,
Brian Urlacher would have been
who this guy
a
is.
whole hell of a lot
He's
better.
huge. Take a look at the size of this guy. I don't know what his situation is, but he's a big boy. He could probably beat anybody. Oh, it says here he played for a terrible football team. Okay, right. Probably not very interesting. Let's move on.
It's okay. Somewhere around the world, somebody named their cat after him, so it's fine.
Right. I mean, if you were so inclined, I'd love it if there was like somebody just watching in Chicago, like,
Triggered.
how? Oh, you triggered me by talking about my precious Brian Urlacher, who actually, when he was a player, I thought he was one of my favorite players when I was first getting into the NFL, which would have been in maybe like 2007, 2008. Those early days when I was just starting to learn players, and I had on Madden, and Madden had Brian Urlacher as one of the best players in the whole game.
He was one of the top rated, yeah.
Yeah. I can tell you that Brian won the gold medal in the 2019 Pan American Games, so he is the kind of, if you will, continental champion, the intercontinental champion, gold medalist for that section for America and for North and South America.
Were there any other entrants, or did he win by default?
That's correct. Everybody else came down with a very heavy case of the flu, leaving only him to face off in what was more like a kata. He was just kind of doing the moves in the middle of the ring, and then they begrudgingly pinned a gold medal on him.
That's the only thing I can believe, really. Having watched Brian do very little in this contest.
He is from... Oh, you're joking. Do you know, guess who he beat in the final of the Pan American Games? We've seen him today.
Not Ryotaro Araga.
No. Somebody even worse than that.
Ivan Kvezik?
No, worse than that.
Oh, did he beat the Canadian?
It was the Canadian.
Oh my god.
He beat Danya Kaczynski.
I should have thought.
In the final of the Pan American Games. It was probably one of the worst matches. Probably one of the worst gold medal matches of all time. Yeah, in the North American Games.
Yeah, I was going to say I probably should have worked that out from the fact it was Pan American. So rather than naming Saudi Arabian and Japanese people that are not North American, yeah.
Yes, that's right. Kvezik was very surprised to be invited to the Pan American Games. Yeah, apparently the final of the 2019 Pan American Games was the one we just called pretending that we were wrestling commentators.
Well,
it ended 0-0.
I think we treated it with the disrespect it deserved, to be honest.
That's right.
I'm glad that was the one that we chose to take the piss out of.
That's right. Of course, it ended 0-0. The Banes are having a look at this one. They believe there may have been a scoring kick.
What's the collective noun for Banes? Is it a murder of Banes?
Are they a murder of Banes? Answers in the chat.
I think a gaggle, because that would be funny to say in a Bane. A gaggle of Banes.
Oh, I must now return to my gaggle.
Yeah, it's gaggle. It's definitely gaggle.
It's a gaggle of Banes. It's even funny when you look at them now, like just looking at the screen, like, oh, I think you might be connected with him. It's like, I'm gonna have to go with my gaggle.
Now, the unfortunate thing here is, as they watch this footage, the main Bane is in the way.
Yeah.
Right at the point of contact, there is the back of a Bane head.
It would be so good if, like, just as on the real close up, like just as the foot is like coming in to make contact with the head, like the referee just sticks his head in, just like, hello.
It just turns around.
He's just like.
But this is a very closely fought contest. Jonathan Horn, beautiful German name, against Gogita Argenia of Georgia, who we've seen before. Both of these guys
Sorry.
are pretty good. Not like that guy.
Not like that guy.
And another point to Georgia. It's 2-1 now. Also an advantage for Arcania.
That's right. What I know so far is that if you get any kind of warning, that gets rid of your that gets rid of your advantage. If you had an advantage, any kind of warning, any kind of caution will knock that off. I just saw the side banes gave an Ippon to Germany for Horn landing that big head kick, the reverse heel kick to the back of the head, is worth 3 points for the Ippon.
So yeah, he takes a massive lead now, 4-2 to Horn of Germany. I'm not sure how that can change the strategy of the Georgian, being that he has been very aggressive throughout anyway.
Very, very aggressive, yeah. And I think that's partly given where they're in their second bout each, I suspect, and losing here would put them in a difficult position to qualify. So you can see why he's being aggressive. Also, he's losing. We're going to be
I think they're checking to see whether the punch to the face from Horn connected, and I'm pretty sure it did.
Yes.
Right. Where is it? Coming up here? There. That was a definite punch to the face.
Yes. They will, among their gaggle, have a quick discussion of was the technique correct. They're also taking a look at this one from the Georgian as well. They've very unkindly frozen it, like as Horn's like, which, to be fair, if I was a karateka, I would probably like make that my Twitter profile picture. It's like me getting like my absolute like face like
getting
smashed
munched.
in. I'm like, while we're just waiting for the result of this, I'm quickly going to go on Brian's Twitter profile.
Yeah, you'd assume he is tweeting throughout this as an American.
See, can you imagine if he's live tweeting? Like, oh man, that sucked.
I really felt like I put my best foot forward there. Okay, so they gave the Georgian the point there. So
There's
now,
the buzzer for 15 seconds left.
Oh. Could we have moved to a... Oh.
Oh boy.
I think his arm is broken.
Oh Jesus. Let's get some... Whose man's is this? Get this man some help.
Yeah, like...
They're like, oh shit, COVID protocols. Like, should we get on the mat? Like, yeah, go and
help the dude whose arm is
man.
kind of hanging off.
He's like there on the floor, screaming in pain, going ah, like and holding his arm. And the doctors are like, is he okay? Is that like is he diving? Is it like football? Is he just having a bit of a roll around?
Possum technique?
No, that's right. It's no, this is a combat sport. If he's doing that and he's not getting back up, it's because his arm is broken.
Yes. Yeah, it is kind of.
Oh
it is kind of bent at the. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Let him put his arm back down on the ground. Christ.
Oh boy. Well, so this is what we got when we were like, oh, let's watch some karate, and I've just watched a man's arm in the wrong direction.
Very nice too. Not at all horrible to watch while you're slightly hungover.
Like, oh, I've just drank quite a lot. I'm very full of Mayorio, and now I also have to watch this.
I will say there's plenty of Mayorio left for everyone to sample today. Yeah,
it hadn't occurred to me last night watching the Mayorio that it would still exist the next day. That I didn't realize Mayorio keeps.
Well, it's just mayonnaise. It went in the fridge.
Yeah.
I made a point of putting it in the fridge last night. So yeah.
I hadn't put two and two together that I would also at some point end up in that room, and therefore be witness to its carnage.
Now, I would suggest you bring your own like dipping medium, whatever you feel will cushion the amazingness of the Maorio.
Yeah, I'll find a vat somewhere.
So, but I suppose, do you like mayonnaise? Is the first question.
No.
Right, well, no need for the second question then.
Ask me the second question anyway.
Do you like Oreos?
No.
Do you like the combination of two things you don't like generally?
Strangely, yes.
No, perfect.
That'd be amazing if after all this it turns out that I absolutely loved Maorio, but not the separate ingredients of Maorio.
You would have added a whole new level of complication to your life that seems unnecessary.
That's right.
And if there was any question, they have awarded the win to Gogeta Arcania of Georgia. Hopefully Jonathan Horn will be okay.
This is crazy to me because he was losing, and now it looks like they've given it to him. Like, fair play, you broke the guy's arm, so you win. What?
I mean, if you can't finish the contest, there was only 5 seconds left as well. That's worst
right. There
thing.
was only 5 seconds. That's a classic. Winner by forfeit.
Winner by Kiken.
Well, forfeit. That when they go and sit him on the Kiken is also there's like withdrawal or abstention. So they used it when Naomi Osaka withdrew from the French Open. When they go and ask the guy on the mat, like, oh, can you carry on? He's like, ah!
Are you able to continue?
It's like, answer the question. Are you able to continue? He's like, I can't, get me a doctor. It's like, all right, take this man to Germany. The other guy wins. Man, that's pretty metal. It has to be said. Like, the fact that if you break your opponent's arm, you win.
And as much as I don't want to see the arm hanging off again, I do kind of want to know what caused the break. Because it didn't seem like there was any like impact to the arm. He just came down and mounted and punched in the chest. Maybe his arm was over his chest or something. I don't know. But
oh boy,
it was very broken.
It was super duper broken.
His reaction move on.
was not good.
We won't discuss it any further. We have Ugur Aktas of Turkey against our favourite Ryotaro Araga of Japan,
who really messed up the Kazakhstani guy before. So I'm rooting for him. Tamazaki, what does your father eat? Mostly baked beans and marmite, blended in a blender, and then I kind of just drink the mixture. Does that answer your question?
So just as a little update, Ugur won his last contest against the Georgian that we've just seen, the arm killer.
Arm killer. I actually forgot his name. He's just arm killer to me now.
Arm killer Arcania.
All of these streams are cursed. I think that's cursed with a K.
Always be chatting rocks in just in time for the stars at every point.
He wants the points.
He does. I wonder what the leaderboard looks like now. Let's have a little look.
Let's have a look.
So both of these guys are undefeated so far in this group round.
I thought you meant the leaderboard for the points. For the stars.
Oh no, I did, but I'm just talking at the same time.
Nice.
Tallulah Devil leading, 594. H-Bort's in second, 273. Oodles 97. Bucks Caparisoned 91 and Karis 82 in 5th place. Always Be Chatting has 49. Better get betting. He's betting all of his money. No score currently in our
the
bout,
Gaggle of
but we are
Banes
in a...
are having a look at what might be a head kick, which would be an Ippon. And it
is awarded.
They've scored it.
Good start for Ryotaro.
Araga has looked really good so far. Like, every time we've seen him, he seems like the guy who seems to be a class above.
His coach looked thrilled, obviously.
I know.
As he stood there, looking dead into space.
The judo team event the other day, and which was really good, by the way. It like reminded me of like a Pokemon or like one of these like old timey event, like anime where they had like teams like Beyblade or something like that, where they had teams and then they would send out like one guy against one guy, and then these guys would have like their own little story, and then one would win, and then they would go back, and then the next guy. I got really into it. Israel beat Russia for the bronze, and then France beat Japan for the gold, which was a real surprise. And the French team were like super animated, and then they would cut to the Japanese bench, and everyone was just like,
discipline.
Judo is currently taking place.
There will be no brevity.
So I'm not quite necessarily surprised to see them cut over to the Japanese bench, and the guy's just like, karate. Here go the Gaggle of Banes.
I think they were looking to see how high the kick was.
That's right.
I don't think it was high enough. No.
Nah.
No.
You do not get the waza-ari for what I presume is there is skill. That Ari being from Aru, there is, or to have, essentially. So I suspect that 2-point margin is probably for like a kick to the body, like a solid
to the solar
kick
plexus,
to the body. Yeah, to the trunk, I guess, as they would say in Taekwondo.
And that he wasn't given the point, and the kick kind of hit rib side area, so that would make sense, right, if our random guessing is to be believed.
That's right, yeah. Luckily, there was commentary on the one that I was seeing the other day, which I thought was quite useful. Whereas, of course, when we were watching the judo and indeed this, there's no one explaining what's happening, so we're just kind of making our best guess.
I mean, who needs commentary when you have us?
I mean, are we not commentary?
I mean, who even needs
the JR and King
video when you have us?
Right? Well, I feel like we're describing it very vividly.
Yes. Not at all digressing into other tangents in any way.
Like wrestling or horses. Or horse wrestling.
Is horse wrestling a sport?
Is horse wrestling a sport? I would absolutely consider it a sport. As long as there were no people on the horses.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm not sure she's here to be triggered now, by the way.
No, honestly, I think she's on a train. I suspect she needs to go to London.
Lucky people on the train. I like trains.
I like trains. That is an Ippon to Turkey, which makes this very interesting.
Yes, it does. Japan hold the advantage and an extra point. 4-3 currently. 23 seconds left. But still very much all to happen in this. Araga is going for a walk somewhere.
Yes. He's like, had enough of this.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
He is out. Fuck this shit, I'm in. Yes, please. As he comes back to the mat.
What is happening right now?
I really don't know. He seems to be confusing. Going for a... Because he's gone right next to the photographers, next to the cameraman. He's gone next to the cameraman.
Oh, is it because his gi is ripped?
Oh, his gi has a hole in it.
Waiting for the seamstress to turn up.
That's right. Send for the emergency seamstress. Just comes like running in, like with the sewing machine under her arm. Like, oh my god! It's a bit of an emergency. But they only have one at the entire Olympics because this is usually not an issue. Just barging in, they get like an ambulance for the seamstress.
I feel like this is a little bit like when you used to play a SmackDown game and you'd get out of the ring and just start taunting at the crowd to get your SmackDown.
That's right.
Up.
That's right. You go out
what he's doing
outside.
Right now.
He's gone out and he's going.
And now he's leaving. Oh no, he's.
I mean, surely he just has like. There's just another one. Just get him another one.
He's been delivered a brand new one, and but he does not wish to change his jacket in public. So he's gone behind the stands to change into a new gi.
I understand why, but I'm like it's a rip in your gi. I get it, but also like you can survive 20 seconds with a rip in your gi, right?
Yeah.
But I get why, but
you don't want there to be any excuse, I suppose. You don't want to sit there in 10 years going, I could have won a gold medal if it wasn't for my ripped gi.
If it wasn't for my gi issues. That silence you hear is both me and Jez trying to think of gi puns.
The Maorio that you will be sampling later is very low in gi or GI.
Nice. I'm glad to hear it. If I'm lucky, Alex will have eaten all of it overnight.
And he did enjoy it.
I'm sure he did really look like he enjoyed it. That looks like a point for Japan. I suspect this probably is over. Yeah, it did look like he had a.
Yes, indeed, you are correct.
Yes, that's right. So that's 5-3 with an advantage to Araga. Just got to see out the last 18 seconds. And if you're Turkey in this situation, you know you need to break his arm, apparently.
That'll definitely get it for you, yeah. It seems like he's trying to lock up a bit Araga to waste time. And it works quite effectively.
He's taken the ball to the corner.
And there we have it. Ryotaro Araga picks up another victory.
They do not have garbage time in karate.
I don't know. Waiting for the gi was pretty garbage.
That was bad.
So we have saved ourselves some contests, obviously, and that is the last time that we're going to see Ryotaro Araga, because he was scheduled to take on Jonathan Horn.
Oh, I see. Of course, who, as we see there, has been withdrawn.
Yes, and also that's the last time we're going to see Ugur Aktas for the same reason. So,
yes.
This is
going to shorten things up considerably.
Yes.
On account of one of the competitors is missing his arm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no. Kept counting into the thing that we're not doing. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 contests left. Now that those 2 have been cancelled. But at the same time, you know, we're going to see Gogita again. He may just smash somebody else's limb to smithereens and shorten things up again.
I am assuming that only 2 people go through from the group stage.
I would assume so, yeah.
So, from those 5, so of the 4, and at least one of them must be out anyway, because of the way the points have fallen. So,
yes.
They probably, it would. I wonder if they even bother with certain bouts, if it's mathematically already settled, or if they go, this is the honor of the Olympics, and therefore we will see, fights, break arms.
I think they probably will, on the basis that, apparently anybody can break an arm and be eliminated on the spot, so you need to have the backup. Even if you're in 5th place,
For sure.
you're
That's
just
right.
four broken arms away from a gold medal. So
That's right. That's what the Georgian is thinking to himself right now. He's like, one down.
So now we have another look at Canada's Daniel Gazinski, who takes on our lanky friend Ivan Kvezic of Croatia.
And that might be the first point. Nope, they won't give that. We still haven't yet to see Kaczynski score a point. Kaczynski, of course, the silver medalist at the 2019 Pan American Games. What has he got in the tank if he wants to get himself out of this group? Kvezic as well, he's won one, lost one, I think, so he probably needs to win here to stand a chance of going through.
I would suggest that Gazinski's got plenty in the tank, being as he basically just stood there next to Brian Err for a little while. He took a nap
in the first match that he was on, and he has indeed scored a point. So it's 1-0 to Gazinski of Canada. And the advantage, so he's now got a bit of a cushion.
I think I'd be massively disappointed in myself if I failed to defeat Brian Err, were I Daniel Kaczynski.
Oh, I thought you meant like just you yourself. Like, oh, man, if I fought Brian Err and I didn't win, I'd be so like, oh, missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Damn, Jez. Although, as I say, I'm pretty sure I could beat Brian Err. Doesn't even have a Twitter account. Who doesn't have a Twitter account?
Brian Err.
Brian Err does not. I saw one yesterday from a guy who he's like a race walker, I think, who had finished outside. Like he was a favorite, but he hadn't got the result that he wanted to, and he changed his Twitter bio to like world championship medalist, and then like a little break, and then Olympic non-medalist. Because and then he tweeted, being like, I can finally change my bio because all of the like Canadian athletes were all like tweeting out like, I can change my bio, and it will be like Olympic champion, like Olympic gold medalist, and he's like Olympic non-medalist.
I like that.
To be fair, I think we should all change our Twitter bios. Not that I have Twitter. We should all change our Twitter bios to Olympic medalist or non-Olympic medalist.
Yes, non-Olympic, non-medalist.
Non-Olympic, non-medalist.
I'm not sure who got the better end of that then.
The flags are down to say that the red Kaczynski scored. So it's looking like we're heading for the end of the line here for too long for Kvezic, which is we thought he looked pretty good in that first.
I thought he was going to be a favourite to win. Yeah.
But clearly, whoever he beat, I love that. I love that freeze frame. Anytime they freeze frame with somebody just getting that, is always great. Yes, are they gonna give Croatia a point here? Yes. 1 for smacking him in the face off the video challenge from the Croatian coach. So 3-1. He threw the flag. He chucked the red flag in, challenging the spot.
Now, obviously, that means that he will keep his timeout because the challenge was successful.
That is correct. And he will keep his timeout.
He has 1 left in this half.
Can you imagine if he gets up, he's like, timeout, and the ref's like, there's no timeouts. It's Karai. There's a timeout every 2 seconds.
Another Yuko for Kaczynski, though. Despite a fleeting bit of offense from the video replay. No, it's been challenged, and it doesn't look like that's connected. So that may be taken away. No? Okay. No, they were actually challenging whether Kvezic had laid in his own.
That's right.
Bit of
20 seconds left. But it looks like Kaczynski is going to live to fight another day, unless somebody breaks his arm.
Now, what happens if Brian Err somehow makes it through the group stages again, and we get Kaczynski and Err for a second time?
I assume that even if I'm on a train at 12 o'clock, we have to go live again to call it again.
I think we might have to in the same style.
In the same style, or like we swap,
That
and
was
then
almost a kick to the testicles.
And then on the train, I'm just like really annoying everybody. Back up! Excuse me, sir. Can you keep your voice down? We have a strict no JR on the train policy.
Yeah, and this contest is over.
That's fine.
Kaczynski redeems himself slightly.
Yeah, we still have a bone to pick with him, but
like, why didn't he do that against her?
That's right. Why don't you just kick her in the head?
Unbelievable.
That is his first win. So he's on a win and a draw now. I'm seeing a couple of the shots that connected here. I'd say I watched the gold medal match in the winning, maybe middleweight-ish kind of thing in the karate the other day, and it got crazy. There were a couple of big shots, a couple of big kicks where you went, oh man, this is awesome. This is a cool sport. And then a lot of flapping around and a lot of video review where you went, they could speed this along.
Okay, so Sahad, here we go again. Ganjadeh of
He's the ganja
of Iran, and Tarek Hamedi of Saudi Arabia, not South Africa.
That's correct. Now,
we'll remember
what we saw from both of these guys before, I think, wasn't great. I can't remember.
I think the Iranian did fairly well. He was it him against Kvezic previously? No, it was Tarek against. What has he done? Oh no, it was the Iranian, who I will call Sahad rather than defeated Ivan Kvezic 3-1 previously. He had a better
got it.
A better grasp of how to punch a lanky man in the face.
That's right. Yeah, he was the one who read his shout very well. Bit of a judo flip there from the Iranian athlete.
Always be chatting. Doesn't quite have enough to complete the bet that he would like, so he has challenged Tamsin to a duel.
Is Alex making cash?
Money. He's trying to make cash. Karis has entered the game. Would like to know how many acorn bucks she has.
That's the other thing I saw yesterday. Someone that they tweeted, the official Olympics account tweeted about the Italian woman who won the race walk at the Sapporo kind of marathon stadium or marathon course. She won the gold medal for Italy, and it was her birthday. And the Olympics account tweeted, "What better way to spend your birthday than by winning a gold medal?" And I was going to send it to Alex, being like, either this or I guess eating Oreo mayonnaise. What better way to spend your birthday
and a baked bean cocktail?
A baked bean cocktail. She doesn't have that. She's just got a pathetic gold medal, like a loser.
Yeah, I think Alex is the real winner here.
Sure.
You know, a gold medal is fleeting. That you can only win a gold medal once, but the memories of eating
the aftertaste of Mayorio will last forever.
Exactly.
Scientists say that eating Mayorio is the equivalent of like a 20-day smoking habit for 10 years. Mayorio, not even once. Still 0-0 here. A lot of huffing and puffing.
Yeah, very kind of evenly matched here. I think this is more important for Sahad of Iran to get the win here. So he needs to step up the aggression as we move into the second minute of this contest.
I think he if he won here with that and his win against Kvezic could really put him in a decent position to go forward to that semi-final, which is, I believe, an automatic bronze. I don't think they have a bronze medal match in this.
No, they
similar
do not,
to
no.
boxing. So if you lose the semi-final, congratulations, you've won a bronze medal. As opposed to the judo, I think it was, where if you lose, well, in fact, the judo has 2 bronze medal matches because of the way the reptiles work. So yeah, they have bronze medal matches. But in this, you just get an automatic bronze.
It is nice to go into a contest knowing that no matter what you do, you're walking out with a medal.
Yeah, for sure. And that was the thing is that they have that with the boxing as well. So like, oh, you're going into the final in the boxing. Same with the cycling one-on-ones, anything that's one-on-one. They go, okay, you're guaranteed a silver medal, and that's like for us. We're like, oh man, that'd be awesome. You're guaranteed a silver medal, but actually, for most of the, especially like the boxers and stuff, they're so competitive. They go, oh, a silver medal in boxing means you lost, like you finished with a loss, and so. I can see why there are a lot of people who are like, oh, silver medal is garbage. I'd be quite happy with a silver medal.
I'd definitely be happy with it. I'd be happy with a bronze medal, to be fair.
That's right. I could definitely, I could hawk a bronze medal, no problem. Someone will buy that.
You could dip it in your Mario.
That's right. I don't know if you saw it, that a Japanese, so Japan's women's team won the softball, and like a bunch of them went back to their hometowns and like showed off their gold medal in like little press conferences and things like that, where they said, "Oh, we're so proud of our hometown." And this woman went to Nagoya, and Nagoya's mayor, she like put the gold medal on him so he could like try it on and stuff. And then he took down his mask and bit her gold medal. And everyone, there's been a huge scandal about it because he just went stuck this woman's gold medal in his mouth in the middle of the this COVID uptick in cases, and went stuck this medal in his mouth, and all of the Japanese athletes are like, oh, amazed she could keep it together. What like a disrespectful display of idiocy! Like that's not even your medal. You didn't even win it. You're just the mayor.
Oh dear. No, I had not heard of that.
It's really funny. He's just getting a lot of like criticism from all comers, and then I went in the next day and checked in the newspapers, and the top story was criticism continues for Nagoya Mayor. Was Nagoya Mayor gets it in the neck again?
Well, we had a Brian Erring in that contest, which finished 0-0.
That's right.
No winner. That probably hurts Sahad Ganjade's chances in the pool, I think.
I think so.
But we will see. I was wrong. We do get to see Ugur Aktas of Turkey once again. Here he is against Danya Yoldashev of Kazakhstan.
And conversely to the previous contest, I think they're going to give a point already. Yeah, they are. A point has been given to Kazakhstan immediately, Yoldashev. After 3 minutes that we just watched of no score, within 4 seconds we have a score in this one.
That's what
I appreciate you, Yoldashev. And Aktas surely is going to get a point as well because he's absolutely clobbered the guy.
Yeah, there was dual punches to the face, which
I love
think
that they
is
have
the technical term.
4 judges on the videos. They need 4 guys in the Premier League. It's literally they've got 1 bloke upstairs with his little screens, and in this one they've got a full gaggle.
They rejected the video review, so
I can't believe they didn't give that.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know anything about the price, so why would?
The gaggle of Banes giveth, and the gaggle of Banes taketh away.
Oh, that's an ippon in judo, but not in karate.
Somebody's coach is very vocal right now. Not at all happy.
Kazakhstan and Turkey, do they have a border?
I think so.
Maybe not. I get because Turkey's eastern border is Iraq, right? Yeah, they have Russia, Azerbaijan, Iraq on that eastern side. This is where we need Harmstone.
Yeah.
He said for the first time in his fucking life. Let's go on Google Maps, which I already had open, to figure out how to get to Kent. And nope, nowhere close.
Yeah.
There is Turkey, Georgia, Georgia on that northeastern side.
Kazakhstan's kind of down there, right?
And there's a little chunk of Russia, and then Kazakhstan. So close-ish.
Oh well, so no close fought, potentially war history rivalry.
That's right. No, there's no larger metaphor.
Manolia Kit Kat, thank you for the follow. Are you Dash? Welcome on in.
Man. That was great.
Haven't seen Dash all week.
You could just never be sure.
So this is 4-1 to Aktas of Turkey so far.
Might be about to be more. It is.
Wow.
He caught him flush with a left hand there.
So this is the highest score we've seen so far today, isn't it?
So far, yeah. Just for what it's worth, if you score 8 points more than your opponent at any time, the bout is over. But we haven't seen that yet.
No. Wazaari from Danya.
Yoldashev. Yeah, so it's a little bit closer now. There's still quite a lot of time to go. It's 5-3 and there's still 2 minutes to go. This is a great match.
It is.
This is the complete opposite of Brian Err. You probably didn't think he was going to get a bunch of abuse on the internet today.
No. But if he performed better, maybe he wouldn't.
That's right. Brian has unsubscribed from the Jez Show. It's like, I don't need this abuse. I'm an Olympian. I'm an Olympian non-medalist.
So interestingly, Yoldashev holds the advantage. So if he does manage to close up this 3 points, he can win on the tie. Or saying that.
That is true.
But
that is a Wazaari to Turkey. So it's now 8-3 to Turkey. With still, again, 2 minutes to go. So this has been very, very heated. Both of them have been very aggressive.
We were concerned for a second there. We were down in the arm-breaking position.
That's right. The Kimura. I think they may have just given a nip-on to Turkey, which would end this. They have, and it is.
Wow. What a contest that was.
That was great. That was literally a minute of karate, but there was loads of score, and it finishes 11-3 to the Turkish athlete who... Yeah, that's the first mercy rule we've seen.
That's what you want to see, as far as I'm concerned.
Now that's karate. Said by someone who, again, doesn't know what karate is.
So we don't get Jonathan Horn and Ryotaro Araga. So that means, try to contain yourself, we have Brian Err,
Jesus Christ.
once again, taking on Sahad Ganjade, who hopefully can just come in and annihilate Brian Err.
That's right, and remove him from this event. Yes, can you imagine if Jonathan Horn comes back, halfway through the gold medal match, and his music hits, the glass shatters, and everyone turns around, and what the hell? He comes in, he comes jogging, he's got a cast on his hand, he's like, I'm not dead, and the guys run out from the back, the referees and stuff, they're like, no, and he's like, let me in, and then they go, okay, go for it, and the crowd goes crazy and runs in. It becomes a three-way dance. That'd be sick.
Threat. Nice.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I think Pool A is pretty much locked up.
I think they're cooked.
Ryotaro, Araga, and Ugur Aktas.
Yeah, Aktas obviously just got that huge win just there. So it looks like, in fact, it says that they're both both of them have made the semi-final. They might have a little finish-off match between Yoldashev and the Armbreaker just at the end. But yeah, it looks like Ryotaro and Actas are going to go through to these semis, which means guaranteed medals.
It does. I would be interested in a little update from Pool B as well to know what.
Yes, me too.
To what the
because
what the stakes are going into this contest.
So if it's, I think, is it 0 points for a draw or is it 1 point for a draw?
I think it's 1 point for a draw because
I think it must be 1 point for a draw.
Brian somehow has 2 points, so that would be the two draws. Oh no, he got beat, didn't he?
No, he got beat. So I think he's on 1 point.
Okay.
Here's Brian here. Brian IRR. Versus Sahad Ganjade.
I bet you had trouble with it as well.
Yeah, I thought I should take one off your plate. But like, stop being like, Jez, why can't you say anything?
Yeah, we've got to see Brian twice before we finish.
Oh my fucking god! I mean, great. Let's see some good karate.
After this, he will take on Ivan Kvezik of Croatia. So,
oh boy, now that is going to be a lanky match between the two of them. I think there's like 14 foot worth of man there.
Oh god, come on, Brian, do something.
Oh my god, he's awful. I hate him. Like, I don't want to be cruel, but like, get it together, man.
Yeah, just go for a strike.
And they're scored for blue already. That's like a Yuko. Yes.
Right, good.
So 1-0 to Iran.
Maybe you can just get 8 Yukos in a row and
that's right.
Keep smashing the hell out of this guy.
Smacking him in the chin. Fortunately, unlike in the Turkey Kazakhstan match, there is also no, I'm sure, geographical worries or political issues between the USA and Iran.
Yeah, they don't share a border, right?
Incidents. Yeah, they don't share a border. So if the US had any history with Iran, it would mean that they had like vastly overreached from where they should be getting involved in world politics. So I'm sure there's nothing.
Yeah, we all know that the Americans don't tend to overreach beyond their borders in any way.
If American foreign policy was more like Brian Er's ability to fight in karate, then there would be far fewer issues in the world.
Not quite sure
and
what
now a bunch
there.
of people are gonna unsubscribe. You get flagged for starting strange discussions. That is an Ippon for Iran, and is now 4-0. So I noticed there seems to be a couple of karateka have now done it now, where they kind of take the other guy off their feet, and then as they fall to the ground, there seems to be this technique where you punch the guy as he's falling to the ground.
Yeah.
Like when he's on the ground, if you punch him in the stomach while he's on the ground, that's an Ippon, which is just clearly a specific technique.
I think it's just
and that's probably why when you hit the floor, you are trying to keep your opponent at bay using your legs. That's probably to stop them smacking you in the abs.
Yeah. Keep the opponent off. Oh no, it was actually a caution for...
It was a caution.
The Iranian.
To our friends Sahad.
Brian, I'm begging you, man. Jesus Christ.
It's like Fox News with what's the thing where Sideshow Bob runs for mayor and they go Mayor Quimby and he's got like devil horns and stuff, and then Krusty's like an angel with a halo and things like that. We're exactly like this with and Sahad, who's a great karateka and we think is fantastic and we love him, gets Brian, who probably eats babies.
Brian steps backwards and steps forwards.
Throws his first punch of this Olympic Games, it's his third match.
Takes a punch in the face.
Like he loves to do. I don't know what that hand motion means. That might be a caution.
I think that's a caution. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I threw a punch. I know it's not like me.
He's like, I'm really sorry. I know my usual thing is to kind of hover like this, going, I might consider throwing a punch later. He's really clocked him there.
Yeah, so we just had the Americans ask for a video review, I think, and it may come back to bite them because the point will go to Iran.
I thought that was the Iranian coach.
Was it the Iranian coach? Oh, okay. I thought I saw
the point wasn't the point. This was not given, and so I think he might be saying it should be given.
I thought I saw an American.
The gaggle don't look very interested. They're not all pointing. It has been given, so that'll be 5-0.
3 points away from the mercy rule.
Yes, and 45 seconds to go.
Let's just call
Sahad
it
is
now.
looking very good. This could see Iran Sahad into the semi-final. Oh, he thought about it there. Did Brian?
Brian steps forwards.
Brian
steps backwards. He steps forwards. He misses a kick.
He
steps
tried
forwards.
to do a mid kick, and he's now being punched in the face.
You should
when
be
Brian
disappointed.
looks back on his Olympics, this is probably not what he had envisioned. Not only that he's getting done 6-0 in the group stage and losing and has only scored 1 point in 3 bouts, but also he's getting dragged by Borton and Jez.
That's
dunked on by 2 British guys.
That's the biggest insult, really.
Really sucks.
It's not bombing out of the Olympics with terrible form. It's being trashed from the other side of the pond.
Yeah, like he like gets home and the American Olympic Committee are like, dude, you got rinsed by these 2 British guys. He's like, what? They even challenged you to a fight.
A fight that we would win.
Where do they live? Like, they said meet them at the Harbour Arm in Folkestone.
But what, mate? What are you doing?
He's making a lot of noise. He's like, ah.
As he retreats rapidly.
He's like, see you later. I could definitely kick your ass.
We're gonna see it again in video replay. Oh yeah, that's the American.
That's the American coach sitting there with his arms folded, being like, aha, if I maybe we can get 1 point if I. What are they?
You missed. Oh, maybe there.
Okay, so they're asking, did he get a hit there? Why challenge that? You're 6-0 down with 2 seconds remaining. It actually looks more like he got clocked.
Yeah. Oh, this is the angle we want. Okay, yes, I think he did manage.
It looks like
to
he makes contact, but I don't know if it's flush.
Maybe.
I think it brushes him. This is how invested I am. I'm now like, I hope Brian doesn't score a single point.
Also, at the same time, I'm like, stop the pain. Just give him the point so we can get to the end.
Let him go home. He's still got to do another bloody fight, yeah.
What is the decision? It is not. Oh. They were looking
not
for both.
For blue, but
and not for red.
Not for red, okay.
No points for anyone. The pain resumes. Brian, mate, you've been more aggressive in that last 2.6 seconds than you have been the entire Olympics so far.
In your whole Olympics. Okay, so he's been done 6-0. He has now scored 1 point in 3 bouts, and he is, out of the Olympics. But that's
to make
fine,
it worse,
so am I.
He went for the fist bump, and Sahad decided to just cup his arms instead.
That's right. This was the most humiliating part of his Olympics, was where he went for the fist bump, and then Sahad tried to grab his fist and
shake his hand. Oh dear.
Do anything right, Brian?
Nothing is.
And here he is getting rolled. Well. So here's the replay of it. Oh man.
Oh, that was a great.
That was metal. Yeah. So he chucks him to the floor, and then as he's falling to the floor, he comes in with this extra punch that pins him to the floor to score 3 points. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm thinking Sahad must now surely be going through. He is indeed. He's top of the group.
But they haven't they haven't given it completely yet. There is still more to play for.
Yeah, the only thing there, I'm pretty sure Brian Ur is out.
I think so. Mercifully. Next up, Daniel Gazinski and Tarek Hamidi. Canada versus Saudi Arabia. And then we get the arm breaker back in the next contest.
In what is the deadest of dead rubbers.
Yes.
And therefore, the coach is like saying, you don't need to break his arm. You're already out of the Olympics. And
the female Bane has taken over as referee in this contest as well.
Hello. The fire rises. What does that mean?
Oh, that was a nice strike to the face.
Tasty opening exchanges here. And that looks like in fact, we've got flags for both, it looks like.
I thought the Saudi competitor got the hit on, but they've given a point to Canada.
I thought so too. But the judges have got the two flags, and in the one I saw the other day, there was a situation where a judge on either side had each put down flags for each guy, and they each got a point. So I was surprised here because I thought this would be points for both.
Yeah,
but they've gone to
in the video.
Saying no.
It was very clear in the video that he did not connect. So that was some good refereeing from the Banes.
I've been very pleased with the Banes. I think the standard of officiating here has been very high. I have no issues with VAR in the same way that people do in the Premier League. Where they're like, oh, hate VAR, it's ruining football. I have no opinion on whether VAR is ruining karate.
I think the difference is the Banes. Like the video itself is largely irrelevant. You need the gaggle of Banes to to lay down the law over the top.
Keeping in mind that if they weren't wearing masks, they wouldn't be good at their jobs.
No,
they need to be a gaggle of Banes. That is the key. That is the key. That looks like a point for Canada.
It is indeed a point for Canada. I'm very surprised that Daniel Gazinski has come out and he dominated the last contest.
Good.
He's been dominant in this one so far, but yet he couldn't do anything with Brian Ur.
I think it doesn't help with Brian Ur where it's hard to hit him when he's over there.
There is that.
Right? He's off in one corner. At one point he was sitting in one of the judges' laps. They're like, all right, well, it's going to be hard to kick you in the head if you're not actually bothering to join me in the middle. That's very cagey. It was a first match. And he's thinking, this guy's got my number because he beat me in Lima, Peru in the final of the 2019 Pan American Games. And he's thinking, oh, this guy's got my number. And then he's actually, it turned out that draw was the only point that Brian got all day. Yeah, checking here to see if the Canadian karateka scored a point here. It does look like he makes contact, but does he have enough force and technique?
No, it just looks like he rubs his glove on the back of his head.
He's giving him a little bit of a scrub.
A bit of a noogie.
He gave him a noogie. The Gaggles rule, no Yuko, but 1 point for noogie. If you give him a nipple cripple, that's 3 points. That actually is 3 points because that was a kick to the head. So suddenly, out of nowhere, Saudi takes the lead, I think.
Tarek Hamidi takes the lead with a nip-on. Good time to do it as well. 1 minute 40 left.
That's right.
Ooh.
So now, because he has it all to do, still got that advantage, but a point down. Immediately goes for a big swinging reverse spinning heel kick. And now they're on the floor.
See, Gazinski, unlike our Croatian friend Kvezic, reserves his shouting for having completed.
That's right. Punch. That's the main thing that I've noticed.
Then scream rather than scream. Early warning system.
There you go.
From Kvezic.
It's almost like an appeal. It's almost like in cricket with the house that it feels like you land the punch, then you appeal, as opposed to Kvezic. Oh, that's 3-3. He scored a point there. so it's all tied up. Because I feel if you yell before you've actually hit it, then you're never going to have success. As a point is given to the Saudi, so it's now 4-3 again. This has been pretty good, actually.
It has, yeah. Hamadi's definitely got the kicking kind of technique down.
Yeah.
He's not so hot on the punches, but...
That's right. It's interesting with that, certainly, because we watched a couple of matches which were very, very punch-focused. When we just started, we had that last women's match on as well, which was very punch-focused.
Yeah.
And then there's been a couple of guys that we've seen in these last couple of matches who have got a lot of striking power in the feet.
Another point for Hamadi.
Well, this is going to make the group quite interesting, I suspect.
Yeah.
Because that will take him top or second, maybe.
Oh. Lost his footing quite heavily there.
There's still quite a lot of karate to karate.
Rolled his ankle a little bit, it looked like, as well, did Hamadi.
I had some kids back in the day who, when they were learning like their self-intros, they were like, oh, I play soccer, I play the trombone or whatever, and they'd ask like, oh, what's the verb for karate? What's the verb for judo? Like, oh, I play judo, and I'm like, oh, you can't play judo, you must do judo, surely.
Yeah.
That looked like an ippon there for, it is indeed.
Wow.
So now leads 9-3.
It is getting out of hand now all of a sudden, considering it's still been fairly closely matched.
We thought Kaczynski was 3-2 up at one point. Or in fact, he was 2-0 up at one point.
Oh. Who got a point there?
Looks like no movement from the flags.
Two very good leg sweeps, so just a reset.
This is getting away from Canada's Kaczynski here.
Did Hamadi just get kicked in the face? Looked that way to me. No, he did not.
Up to a 7-point lead.
One more and he takes it. There's 9.8 seconds left. Either way, it seems like a win for Tarek Hamadi.
Oh.
Of not South Africa.
That's right.
And there he is. There it is.
I mean, there are over 200 nations in the world which aren't.
Three contests left in these pool stages, which will be where we
timed this absolutely perfectly, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's a good amount of karate, I would say. I would say not much more than this, but certainly not less.
Yes, and I will let you know. This link will still work for you, by the way, if you would like if you would like to watch it on the train.
Thank you.
They have officially delayed the semi-final and final contests.
Oh, really?
Because I think this group stage has taken longer than they were anticipating.
Yeah. I suppose there was also the stoppage while they reattached Jonathan Horn's arm.
Yes, yeah.
And gave him like a new robot arm.
Got the duct tape out, that kind of thing.
That's right.
Now, speaking of Jonathan Horn,
breaking arms,
the man who smashed his arm to smithereens,
the man who ran him over Austin style,
Gogita Arcania of Georgia,
who I've just seen is 37 years old.
Yeah, he does look.
Everybody else in this is.
He's had a rough life as well. He doesn't look 37 years old.
Yeah, that's right. He looks like he's been through the ringer. It looks like that is not the first arm that he's broken. Let's put it that way.
And conversely, Danya Yoldashev of Kazakhstan, I think he was early 30s, and he looks more like he's 15. So.
Oh no, he's 24, I think.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's a babo.
Good bit of bowing.
I suspect this is probably not Gogita's first Olympic Games.
You'd hope not.
Wait, what am I on about? It's everybody's first Olympic Games. This is a new sport.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting mixed up between taekwondo, judo, etc. Yes, no, this is the first time that a lot of these guys all these guys have had a chance to show their stuff at the Olympics. And of course, it's not going to be at Paris 2024. So this is your chance to get a gold medal. Same with like stuff like the sport climbing. This could be your only shot. You only get one shot. Don't miss your chance to blow. This opportunity only comes once in a lifetime.
Spaghetti, etc. It seems strange to me
spaghetti.
that so many sports are excluded from the Olympics. Like, why not just have as many sports as possible? Like,
right?
Just do it.
Get firefighting and toilet sitting in there.
Yeah.
The time is now.
Which is an excellent segue to drop the link to our Discord server, where
yes.
I mean, you can explain it. What you did this week.
What I've been up to, how I made the world a worse place this week. Yes, that's true. Yeah, I have been learning how to use Adobe Illustrator, so I thought I would make some little Olympic logos of some sports that could join the Olympics. I haven't heard back from the IOC yet. I sent my suggestions of my artwork to the IOC. Nothing back from them yet, but I suspect they're a bit busy. So we'll see how it goes. So if you could check it out in the Discord, if you didn't see in the creative stuff section, my idea for 8 new sports for the Olympics.
And I've just realised that I've had the icon for beach volleyball up this entire time.
Sick.
And I don't actually have an icon for karate, so I'll just.
If you want, I'll send you the. I can send you toilet sitting if you want to put it in there instead. You're now watching the Karate Men's Kumite 75 kilos. I'm like, is that man reading a book on the toilet? It's like, yeah, we didn't have karate, so.
And as we expected, being as this contest means absolutely nothing, not very competitive.
Nobody is trying.
Okani is not going for the arm in this instance.
That's right. He's decided to spare Yoldashev.
He's done his damage in this tournament, and he will ride off into the sunset with his arm toll at 1.
That's right. With his, like, having an arm in his bag, he like goes to the back and he's like, "Hey, look, man, that's my arm. I deserve that." He has just got his. He says, "Got 1 point."
Someone had to.
Oh, but they're going to VAR.
Bane is playing charades to pass the time.
So, movie, 3 words. Sport, 1 word. With lots of kicks.
He did not get the Wazari. Did Yoldashev. So still 1-0 to Arm Killer. A very Brian like technique of retreating and waving your leg around a little bit.
Working in the Brian school of not doing anything. Can you imagine if it turns out he's like a pacifist? He's like, "Look, man, I'm a non-violent karateka, so I refuse to land a fist on an opponent." Like, all right, Brian, that's fine, but just so you know, you're never going to win the gold medal doing that.
I'm here to prove that you cannot win not hitting people in the same way that you cannot win hitting people.
In the same way that I could have achieved similar success by staying at home and watching the Olympics on my sofa, eating a bag of Cheetos. So you go for Kazakhstan, so that's 1-1 in this match that means nothing.
There's 51 seconds left.
And they're going to VAR. This is probably the reason why this group stage is taking longer. We've had a lot of video reviews.
We have, yeah.
Whereas in like Taekwondo, they just seem to like give it much fun. Like there's 1 challenge per match in Taekwondo for each coach, but I definitely feel like it's much quicker because the scoring is much quicker. They just go ding. Whereas in this, it has much more the judo style of thing where they bring them back to the middle and they stand them both up and then they go, right, you have scored a point. Whereas in Taekwondo, it's just going dunk, 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 and they play a little sound over the speaker to go 2 points, 3 points.
Yeah, I suppose do they really need to show the video replay, or can they just Would it make much difference if they just awarded the points in progress?
Also, yeah, with this bit, like, because Taekwondo and Judo have been at so many Olympics, and they've definitely worked out what their best strategy is, right? Whereas
Finessed it.
this is so new, and you're never sure how to, because obviously they'll have world championships and stuff like that before, but the doing it at Olympics and finding out how to, for a lot of people, us of course included, this is their first time watching karate. And it's stuff like we were talking about with squash, where you're trying to make it a little bit more sexy. Like, what is the best way to show this to a new audience, to try and keep it entertaining? And that's something that often takes a little bit of finessing over a couple of Olympic games. So it's hard for a new sport.
A lot of random screaming from Arm Killer Arcania, who just...
Yes, Arm Killer Arcania, that's so badass. And coming in, hailing from Georgia, Arm Killer Arcania. Whoa, don't mess with that guy. But he's actually just like a 37-year-old man. he's like getting on a bit. He's just like, oh man, getting too old for this shit. Like, put it this way, this guy's definitely a dad.
Oh yeah.
Like, he looks like his son has been getting up to mischief at school, and he looks like exhausted by his domestic issues.
7.9 seconds left. 3-1 to Arm Killer Arcania. I think this is all she wrote. As he screams.
Oh, it definitely is, because that looks like a
screams once more. That was definitely a nip-on. Yoldashev will fizzle away.
Oh, no, never mind. They're going to say that was not full contact. There you go.
And that's time.
Now put him against Brian to see what happens.
just for science.
For science.
Well, it isn't Arm Killer Arcania, but Ivan Kvezic is now taking on Brian Err.
Okay, so this is the Lankoff, so to speak.
It's either going to be another
lankiest guys.
Dull contest where nothing happens, or Kvezic is just going to annihilate him.
If this is the time where Brian goes, I've got nothing to lose, let's go for a 10-all. Like, I'm going out, I'm not going to defend at all. I'm just going to get stuck in, and I'm going head kicks only. So I think they'll call this group here, I guess. So Araga and Aktas, Ugar Aktas will go through.
There are no more matches in Pool A. That is
Yeah.
completely done. We've got 2 Pool B matches to finish, which are going to be important. Even though this is a Brian Err contest, it is important for Kvezic. He needs the win.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking at the scores here, actually. Yes, you're right. So,
and then we're going to finish
I'm
with...
I'm not convinced Kvezic can get through, actually.
Oh, really?
Because he's on 2 points now from the one that I'm looking at.
Okay.
And so it looks like Gazinski can make it through if he was to beat Sahad, maybe. Maybe. It's unclear. But I think, looking at... Right, here we go. We've got the table up here.
I haven't declared any of them.
If Kvezic was to win, he'd only be on 4, which wouldn't be enough. So it looks most likely to be Hamidi and Sahad against Aktas and Araga. Not in a tag team match, but rather in individual singles matches. Here we go. It's Brian. It's Brian.
Our Bane is Giuseppe Zaccaro.
Oh, Giuseppe.
He looks like he's baned a few in his time.
He has baned once or twice. This is not his first bane. And this has started exactly how I imagined it would, with the 2 of them, like characters on a character select screen. They have not touched each other yet. It's been 20 seconds.
Oh my god!
It's a...
Todd, kill me! Just kill me now, please.
End me now. This is awful. Right, the 30 seconds have gone, and they've just
And
throwing the first
they did a bit
punch.
of hand slapping. Oh my god. Brian.
Oh,
Brian, please.
Brian thought about it. This is a terrible advert for the sport.
Oh my god.
It's a disaster. The guy who runs the karate federation is watching this being like, we fucked up royally. We've made a huge mistake. Right. It's coming down to a minute of karate has ticked by, and they have thrown one combination.
Oh my god.
Literally. Oh, Brian has touched his opponent.
A bit of noise from Brian.
Don't worry. No, don't panic, everybody. They've separated. Hit him.
Do something.
With your fists. Do something. Pokes with the stick. Do something. Oh. Did the coaches just tell them to just go out and not get injured?
I think so.
What is happening? The judges are like, are we required or?
Oh, I think
Kvezic, as usual.
I think Brian.
I think Kvezic has scored.
Oh, is it Kvezic? I thought Brian.
The red flag went up. They've given him.
He just pointed at him.
He pointed at him. He went, "You're Kvezic," and he goes, "Yes, sir."
Yeah.
Okay.
You do something. This guy. No hope. You do something.
You're our hope.
There we go. Finally.
That looks like a Yuko for red. Maybe.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. So that's 1-0 to the Croatian. Kvezic, who I am deeply disappointed in, and it's going to be that was the only good thing about this match previously, is that that it was getting that 3 minutes out of the way. That actually looks like he clocked
Yeah,
it.
no, I was going to say that looks like finally a point for
because he jumps right into it. Hang on a second. I posit to you that was not a punch thrown by Brian, but rather his hand was out. That they haven't actually given it, because Kvezic actually kind of falls during his own punch onto the fist and bounces off his fist, and they've called that not a punch by Brian.
I'm just going to swing my arms like this, and if you get in the way, then that's on you. And, oh dear!
Can you imagine being Brian Er's coach when they cut to Brian Er's coach at the sideline? He was just stood there with his arms folded, like, "Sure, I'll challenge, I guess." I mean, like, it really good. I wish I worked for the Kansas City Chiefs. How did I get into this line of work? Now, Brian, you have been in 4 contests at the Olympic Games. You have scored 1 point. Now is your chance to land a head kick.
Or just, get a good run up and nail a Superman punch just for good measure.
That's right.
Represent your country in some kind of way.
Like, literally do anything. Your country is one of the greatest sporting programs in the world.
Nobody's watching from America, though. It's super early there.
That's right, yeah.
It's like
if it's any consolation, your family is not watching.
No, they're in bed.
As you get clonked right on the nose. If it makes you feel any better, no one from your hometown is watching this match. No one cares.
Most especially you.
33-year-old Brian, yeah, which makes sense because you have also not cared, and he's got absolutely smacked right in the temple with a big reverse spinning heel.
That would be
not your best work.
Points, would it?
It would be 3 points, but I didn't see any of the flags go up, so that it might have been not clean enough. It might have not been clean contact, but he definitely felt it, because with 18 seconds to go, we are paused here while Brian gets his nose reattached. So seeing here,
that was a punch.
Brushes him gently, and then man,
that's definitely a connection.
Yeah. So I think the question. So he swings his heel right across his nose. So probably because it wasn't a contact with the skull, I guess it's not a nippon. But yeah, quick shot of Brian Er's coach.
He's just taking his seat now.
My fucking God. Let it end. I want to go home to my family. Why am I in Tokyo? I don't understand. All of the signs are written in some sort of funky alphabet. I'm not even allowed to leave my hotel. And I coach Brian
if you could call it that. Is Brian truly
I
coachable?
I am here
I
during Brian
accompany Brian
Olympics. I am the hype man for Brian Oh, I can't believe we were just saying like, oh, this match is actually going to get through pretty sharpish because they're not doing anything. And Brian has now
His
found a
face
way
has
to make
fallen
this
off.
boring. He's like, oh, my nose.
Only Brian can prolong a match that doesn't need to be prolonged. Right.
Brian not even once.
Okay, so yeah, no, Kvetic can't do anything here. He's got 2 points.
He'll get 2 points here and he'll finish on 4, which is a pretty good Olympics.
So we are looking at an actual win and in from
on Kaczynski. Yeah, I think potentially yes, because maybe if it goes on a head-to-head tiebreaker, potentially
it should do, shouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, unless
otherwise, surely Hamidi would have been given the
semi-final.
The semi-final if there was still possible to.
Yeah. So that otherwise it's suggesting there that both Sahad and Kaczynski can both go through.
Yes.
Otherwise, it would have given Hamidi the little thing next to his name. Surely, you would think so.
Yeah.
As you see them both there, ready to go in what will be the final match of the group stage, and I guess the final match of your Olympics. Your Olympic stream.
The final competition.
Not
only of this Olympic stream, but all of the Olympic streams.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, my only disappointment is that I didn't get the opportunity to do the dancing horses.
Yes, indeed. We did win a medal in that, I think, with the Team GB. I think we got
Charlotte
Desjardins. Yeah, Charlotte Desjardins, who is basically the Jesus figure in my family's household. She won the bronze, I think, which made her the joint. Oh my God, they've given a point to Brian.
I was going to say, what about his? He gets a penalty for kicking him in the face. Harsh, bro.
That's the whole thing that we have here. That's what you told me to do. I am stunned that they gave point to Brian but gave absolutely nothing to Kvezic for smacking him in the face with the back of his heel.
Yeah. Like, clearly it made contact, otherwise his nose didn't just spontaneously explode.
That's right. There is a reason why the medics are currently patching the guy up. They're putting him back together.
Brian, just do what you... now you go for a kick. Like, he goes for the first kick in the last 10th of a second of his last pointless contest. Brian...
He goes over to the coach and he's like, I just didn't want to leave. I just didn't want to leave the Olympics not knowing what might have been. And he's like, Brian, why didn't you do that in the first contest in the first second? You finished bottom at the Olympics.
Christ.
Well, the Brian goes over to camera. He's going, hey guys, how's it going? I've done it. Look at me, I'm an Olympian.
I've got a tissue up my nose.
Boy. That's right. He goes over to the camera with his nose disaligned, with a bunch of tissue up his mind. He's got scars on his face from where he's been smacked so many times. He's like,
hi mom.
Guys.
Hi mom.
Hi mom. Are you watching? So we see some highlights of Brian.
Highlights.
As we see some highlights of Brian at the Olympics. Oh boy! One of the clips they showed there was literally him thinking about punching and then stopping. That was the best they had for that. He's like, "Ooh."
That was a quality hug at the end.
Oh boy!
Oh
no!
They've now declared it.
They've now cleared that he is. So it means that Daniel Kaczynski is going to look back on that match with Brian and think what might have been. Because if he'd won, he'd have had a chance to go through here.
Yeah. If he'd have done anything.
If he'd literally hit him once.
He's going to be disappointed with that.
Because everybody else smacked Brian from wall to wall.
Handedly, yeah.
Well, yeah. I thought what I've seen of Daniel Kaczynski, I thought he's been pretty good.
I thought he was formidable, yeah.
I thought he looked pretty decent, but he's beaten himself before he really gets going here because he was too cautious in his opening bout, and that's what happens.
Alois
Olympics.
Wiesbach is our bane for this contest from Austria. I think it's Austria.
Ah.
Well known for
And
my
with
geography,
this,
obviously.
that's right. It also could have been Australia. Considering that apparently this is a dead rubber as well. Probably we won't see Sahad, especially who needs to go and prepare himself for a big match coming up. He probably won't put himself in too much harm's way here.
No, of course, yeah, he's already through. So we say that it's all decided, but you know, if Kaczynski pulls an arm killer Arcania here and just breaks his arm, he could break his arm into the semi-final.
That's right. I think it would be considered a dick move, but if he keeps like aiming
not
for the
Olympic
arm,
like.
That's right. It's not really in the spirit of the Olympics, is it? And Sahad's like, hey, stop it, and he keeps on like going for these like really nasty kicks to like aiming at the arm. He's like, oh, stop. Yeah, stop trying to break my arm.
It does seem like they have an agreement where they're just gonna dance a little bit and not do anything.
Shall we dance? Yeah, for sure. They're like, look, man.
Character selection screen returns.
That's right. I think they're both gonna get warned. Yeah, they've both got warned for
not trying,
being wusses. Okay.
You're a naughty man too.
Got a C2 caution.
At least pretend to throw a punch.
Yeah, like this is the worst one yet. This is, to be fair, this is what we probably didn't have to deal with. This is why you don't have round robins, right, at the Olympics, is because nobody's going to want to chuck away a potential, if they're going to put their medal hopes in danger by hurting themselves in the round robin.
I mean, I think that Kaczynski should just take one for the sport and just lie down and get punched in the chest a few times for some ippons.
That's right.
Just get it done.
He's like, come on. I'll give you one free shot. Right here. Yeah, you got to wonder about Kaczynski. He's got in a group where only 2 people go through from a group of 5. You can't be having a 0-0 with the dude who's bottom of the group.
No.
You don't really get I'll feel this one out at the Olympics. The Gaggle are having a look, which, to be fair, they're being very professional about it.
It didn't take them very long to say no. Nothing there in this nothing happening contest.
That's right. They're like, no, it's staying 0-0. We all know how this is ending.
Wiesbach is disappointed that he's made his Bane debut in this contest.
That's right. Wiesbach's like, come on, man. I've trained my entire life to become a karate referee. I got selected for the Olympic Games, and now I'm having to watch over a 0-0 where the only thing I do is tell them to actually attack each other, which he might be about to do again.
To actually play. I'm not sure what's happening here, but
I think he was telling them to get on with it.
Sahad got told off, for sure. They're shouting
I love
a lot.
this, but they both don't have any idea what they're yelling, but they know they are yelling something. Kaczynski has won a point there. He's got the Yuko, and they'll go over VAR to check off the challenge if Sahad also connected anywhere. Got a big kick to the side there. I don't know.
Doesn't count for anything there, does it? Oh, no, he missed the swipe. I think that's what they were looking for. But Kaczynski.
Yeah, no, they've called it.
Oh, wow.
Big old kick to the side there on Sahad. Yeah, they've called that big kick to the side and back. So Sahad is now winning.
If you can call it that.
Winning.
No, nobody's really winning here.
But Sahad is going to guarantee himself a medal for Iran. what color will be decided sometime this afternoon, I guess.
Yeah, we're looking at about an hour before we get to the men's
Yes.
semi-final, or men's final at least. We'll get closer, but you will be on a train by then. You will be on your way.
It's true. I will be going to have a merry old time somewhere yet to be confirmed.
But I do believe there will be some Mayorio there.
Jesus H Christ. I don't even want to see it. I'm not convinced. I don't think I want to even see it in its corporeal form. I don't think I have it in me. I think I'll just
what's that
start spewing everywhere.
Lay out the platter in preparation for your arrival. Okay, yeah, sure, we can do that. Absolutely.
I hear you loud and clear. Make more. Got it. The amount that's left over from last night will not be enough.
I've got half a pack of Oreos left, and I've got plenty of mayo. It can be arranged. Just say the word.
It almost looks like an Oreo McFlurry, but without the ice cream. It's mayo.
We have fizzled to the end of this contest. 2-1 to Sahad Ganjade.
Of Iran. Fair play. Thank you, karate. I thought, actually, I have to be honest, I think that's a good sport.
Me too.
I enjoyed that as a because there seems to be a bit of a mix. There's the punching and the kicking. It's a kind of a mix of taekwondo and judo in a way. But it's one of those sports that is probably just a Tokyo thing. It probably won't come back at Paris 2024 or Los Angeles 2028. This is probably the one. So if you get a gold medal now, this is probably the only one of these that'll be held for a long time.
So the last thing to do then, we did say we were going to predict who we think walks away with the gold. So in the two semi-finals, we have Ryotaro Araga of Japan, Tarek Hamedi of Saudi Arabia, Sahad Ganjade of Iran, and Ugur Aktas of Turkey. Who takes it?
Okay, I really like all four of these guys from what I've seen of them this morning. I wonder if Araga has what it takes to win the gold for Japan. That they've been looking for that gold in the Kumite class. I think Aktas has been the one who's impressed me the most. I think it could be him and Araga in the final. I'll go with Araga. I'll put my money on Araga.
My thinking is exactly in line with yours, but just to differ and to support the home team, as it were, I'm going to go Araga to take the gold.
Okay, I also said Araga to take the gold, but
oh, did you? I thought you said Aktas to take the gold.
No, sorry.
In that case, I'll take Aktas. I'm fine with that.
Why don't you take Aktas, and I'll have Araga.
That's fine.
Okay, that works. Yeah, I think that's the most likely. I reckon. I think Aktas is a really good shout. I really like what I saw of him. And I'll see you sometime this afternoon to talk about Sahad's win.
In a matter of hours, yeah, absolutely, yeah. We're no love for Hamedi at all. We really don't think he's got a chance here.
Yeah, we don't back Hamedi at all. And then in the final, what's this? The glass shatters. Who could it be? Here comes Brian going, I'm not done yet, baby. I haven't thrown a punch all afternoon, and now I'm ready to win.
Getting slightly confused by his nationality, the bionic redneck Jonathan Horn makes his return.
That's right. Yeah, comes in with a steel chair as JR screams, "By God, by God."
Well, thank you very much for joining me.
Not at all. Thanks for having me.
For this Olympic stream, but for the judo a couple of weeks ago as well. It's been great. Thanks to everyone.
Thank you.
As well, that's joined for this or any of the Olympic streams. This is the last one, certainly until the next Olympics. And we'll see what life looks like.
This is the last one until Paris in 2024.
Yeah.
In which case, we'll see you all there for the judo in that one.
Yeah, I'll probably do something between now and then. I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
Well, only if you feel like it. Don't.
I won't push
the boat out too far.
I'll Brian it. I'll just kind of dance around a bit, pretending to do
something. The
Brian
approach to streaming, whereby you are in bed, asleep. So
Is there anybody on that could receive a raid? Yes, there is. What are you doing? That's fine. Okay. So in my Twitch Sports Accelerator group, RNA Deck is doing a watch along of Brazil versus Spain in the
football final.
In the football final, so we'll go along and raid him. Just get that set up. Lovely, that's underway, and we will bid you adieu. Thank you very much. Thank you to Tom. Thank you to all of my guests in this over the course. I've been Jez. I will see you soon. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye, folks.
Bye.